Corpse.
Hey, everybody. Good evening and welcome to Stealthy Elf Productions. We are here. We're going to play a little Pathfinder 2nd Edition for you. This is our new campaign, New World Rebellion. This is a Heroes of Histaeria campaign set in the same universe as the Unearthed Inheritance and Sansi Saga. We are going through 0 sessions. We just finished up with Amanita and Isfit, brought to you with Button and Mr. Adam. Go check it out. And then tonight we are doing Nigel and Hannah, or should I say Hazel and Fenrir? Although that would imply that Nigel's playing Hazel, which is not correct.
I am Hazel, everyone.
Order.
If you couldn't tell.
Well, guys, let's do a quick round of introductions. We'll say who you are, who you're playing, and then we'll talk about your characters proper. So let's start with Hannah.
Hey, I'm Hannah. I am going to be playing Hazel, who you will learn about tonight and throughout the New World Rebellion campaign. But yeah, I play a lot of Pathfinder here on Stealthy Elf Productions. You can find me occasionally over on Tales Archived, our buddies, our streamer buddies. And yeah, get hyped for ElfCon. 2 weeks from tonight is going to be the very first group session of New World Rebellion.
Damn.
How about that?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Exciting.
Yeah.
True,
It's
it is
very
so
exciting.
close.
Oh, man. We're all going to be in the same room together real soon.
I know. It's crazy.
We can smell each other panic.
You, Nigel?
I am Nigel. You could find me playing Lunazra Elwins on Hero of Histaeria, the Sansi Saga. And everything else Hannah mentioned.
Fair enough.
I don't have much more. Yeah.
Nice. Nailed it. Stuck the landing. The judges?
8.5.
We'll leave it to chat.
1-4.
10.
Yeah,
All right,
nice.
10. Guys,
out of 100.
My name is David. My pronouns are he, him. I will be your GM this evening. You can catch me here as the game master of all of the Heroes of Histaeria games, Unearthed Inheritance, Sansi Saga. You can also catch me over at Tales Archived, where I play Whistle, the Hobgoblin Fighter in the Known Realms Delesh campaign. Yeah, check it out. That's every Sunday, 4 p.m. Central?
Yep. 4 p.m. Central Time.
Sounds right.
Fantastic. Nailed it. Okay, guys. New World Rebellion time. Let's get into the good stuff. Let's talk about characters. Yeah, I know. It just kind of heated. It finally started to feel a little heat here. Okay. Who wants to go first?
I can go.
Oh. Roll initiative.
Rollies.
Or yeah,
Ready?
rollies.
Roll for it?
Yeah, roll for it.
1, 2, 3. I got a 10.
I got 3, I think.
Why are you using the smallest dice in the world?
No, it's just how the 3 is written very badly. Yeah, I got 3, so you could go.
Okay.
Wait, do I get a modifier?
No.
No.
Okay, you can go.
If you can't,
you
hardly were able to read it. Why would you get a modifier?
Sure.
Okay, show the viewers what they want to see.
Okay, so drum roll. This is Hazel.
Ooh, who's that hottie?
There is.
Okay, this is Hazel. Art is done by Lycus D. Stratus, who you will also see in this campaign. Tune in next week for that 0 session. Hazel is a little witchy kitsune fox lady, and she is she's inspired by Inara from Firefly in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Sort of combined with just a few other influences. But she kind of is meant to exude this confident sexiness. And the story that I want to tell with her is just one of kind of putting down one's own roots rather than those roots that have been planted for you.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah, and kind of like like making your own home is sort of something I wanted to explore with Hazel, which is interesting given that the world is ending and there's going to be a lot of destruction.
It's a good
So
time.
it's
Good
a
time to
great
restart.
time to
Yeah.
to build a new home.
Well,
Property
Yeah.
values are down.
You basically have
You know?
to.
You pretty much don't have a choice,
Yeah.
right? So
Glass half empty view there. Glass half empty.
well, so it's like you'll find out more about her as we go, but she's inspired by foxes and the phoenix. So she has
Mm.
this sort of air of like rebirth and regeneration and
Yeah.
reincarnation about her too.
Yeah. Very cool.
So that's Hazel. She's my sexy girl.
Yeah. I like the wand.
Fuck's the lady.
Oh, you like the wand?
Oh shit.
It just so happens that I have
What?
no idea.
All right. Hero
You
point
can
for
have to say the
having
spell
your
names.
hero point for having your character's weapon with you.
Oh my god.
Well,
Exciting.
I mean, mine is there, but
Hey, what did I say?
Should I go get it?
No,
Take the-
what did I
get
say? What were
you
the
a hero point?
words? For having your
you had it
character's
there.
weapon with you. Your character's weapon exists, we know.
Wait, do I get another hero point for having his weapon with me?
You don't.
That would have been pretty cool, huh? That was the
Good
nice
try, though.
workaround.
Good try. Okay.
That would have been super.
Awesome. Hazel. Very excited.
Hazel.
I mean, I'm interested to see the witch class too. We haven't had a
Me
witch
too.
at our table
Yeah.
yet.
I have no idea how they play.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see. All right.
It's fun.
You ready to see your ally, your fellow party member for the evening?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Nigel, you ready? Drum roll.
Yep.
There
There
he is.
Oh,
is Fenrir.
God, we are hot.
This is a steamy duo.
True.
Honestly.
So I've made Fenrir is you could start off by saying he's pretty much like a battle-hardened mercenary.
Mhm.
Ever since he was, 5 or 6, he's just been in battles over and over again.
Mhm.
Lately he's joined a group called the Patriot Blades, and he's finding a place where he's finding a sense of belonging with that group, and fiercely loyal to the leader. And later in the session,
Yeah. We'll meet them.
he's a little uncomfortable wearing shirts all the time,
Sure.
so
You can see that.
So
there might be
he-
times where he has to take it off.
This is a compromise.
Just so like part of my influences have been Guts from Berserk, and lately I've been thinking about Gray from Fairy Tale.
Oh yeah.
You remember him?
Yeah, I remember Gray from Fairy Tale. Sure. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Oh, guys,
And
let me just remind you real quick. We're going to be playing together live like soon, right? So you heard the character inspo. Stick around, right? You want to see that session. But yeah, so
Don't miss it.
I didn't think about that. I can come back and
hey, we give hero points for staying in character.
during this session.
Just start stripping.
Cosplay. I mean, cosplay is part of the deal, so
Hey, that's role playing,
Yeah.
everyone.
So, yeah,
true.
Committed.
this is what my
That's
character would do.
That's dedication.
Mhm. But yeah, okay.
Wait. Hazel is a companion.
Oh boy.
Mm.
Oh boy.
No, but you're
Fade
the
to black.
sophisticated type, so you
I don't know.
have to.
Yeah, that's true. You can, it'd be conversation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not always sex. Sometimes people just want a friend.
Mhm.
It's mostly sex.
True.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's in there. So yeah. Anything else you want to say about Fenrir?
But Fenrir, massive sword. Of course.
Massive
because,
sword. I like the wrist crossbow. That's fun.
I was wondering
It's
if
a
you were
really
going to say
cool
anything about
item. It's a really cool item in 2e actually, where it's let's see what they call it again. Gauntlet bow.
Gauntlet bow.
So it has a mixture
Gauntlet
of features as like a little mini bow and a gauntlet at the same time. So
So do you get like
I'm gonna
a
be.
punch bonus as well? Because the gauntlet?
I could use it to attack, for example.
Yeah.
I could use it to some other cool stuff that you'll see. I have to
Okay.
create. I have to use it in a creative way because two-handed sword. But
Yeah, there is something,
yeah,
and
you'll see.
that's actually the two-handed sword thing is actually a really good point because that's one of those things that 2e is tracking as well, like the two-handed grip, right? Like that having that hand, 2e tracks what your hands are doing. So
Yep, I did a lot of research on this to make sure what I'm doing is possible.
yeah, so there you have it. This is our cast for this evening. Fenrir
Woohoo!
and Hazel. Fenrir, no last name, and Hazel eyes.
You don't always need a last name.
Hazel Eyes. Yeah, her
You do
last
always
name
need
is
your last
Eyes.
names.
I like to think it's pronounced Isa.
Hazel
Japanese.
Ease.
Isa?
Sure. Okay.
I-Z-E.
Okay, Isa.
Isa.
Ease.
I don't know if that means something in Japanese. I hope it doesn't mean anything awful.
Ooh,
I don't
I
know.
think you should never look it up, and we'll
Yeah.
find out
Okay, guys.
4 years from now.
Okay.
4 years from now, people will let us know by by the time like the
4 more
weekend this
years.
airs. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Ooh. Fairly festive little setting we have.
You have happy music.
We do have happy music. I found it. Okay, here we go. Our tale begins in the city of Redhessel, on a night of celebration, for tonight is the last night of the year, and good Hysterians observe the traditional celebration of Old Year's dusk into New Year's dawn. A continental event that lasts from the sunset of the final year, the last sunset of the year, into the first sunrise of the new year. A 12-hour flurry of activity with people marking the occasion in a variety of ways. And this celebration is more momentous than most, for tonight marks the 1000th year of the Age of Oros, an era recognized as the longest peace that the continent has known. The streets are awash with bright lights of every color that work in concert to keep the night's darkness at bay. All around is sweet music, the echoes of laughs, and the whistling of popping fireworks overhead. At the peak of the celebration, for many will be at midnight. At the zenith of Lunazra's, the maiden moons dance across the sky. At that
That's
point in her dance, if she shines full, then the Book of Oros teaches that the world is blessed, and it is a sign of a bountiful, peaceful year. That is why that even from a street full of revelry, one can hear the echoing prayers from the halls of Tazarin's temple. The temple's patrons plead to the gods of Oros that the world would bask in an embrace of pure white light. And this is the event, this is the setting this evening. As Fenrir, you are standing outside Tazarin's temple, kind of taking it all in. You are hearing the echoes of prayers. It's kind of a drone emerging from the stone walls. And just as you are looking around, give us a description of Fenrir.
So right now, Fenrir is keeping his usual, let's say, combat pants and boots, but he's decided that, or he was told to, by the second in command, to wear a sort of tunic shirt because we're at a festival to try and look a little bit more fancy. So it's like typical like grayish tunic, one of those with a little string that ties in the middle there.
Yeah.
He's got his sword in the back, and he's got his what do you call it, cloak. A little bit more wrapped around than usual, than just like flinging back. But he's just kind of just leaning against the temple there.
Okay. Yeah. You catch a few looks from people as they're going by. A lot of people are kind of like arm in arm, kind of singing songs as they're making their way, from one area, one party to another. But every now and then someone looks by because, I mean, the sword catches the eye quite a bit. But after a moment of being something of a spectacle outside of town, you hear a voice. You hear the smooth-toned voice, and sorry if I don't do that.
Don't worry, that image you sent of
Tamara, that kind of
makes
works
up
for
for
it? Okay.
Yeah.
So you
that's
hear a
good.
voice. It says, "Now, are you just out here scaring folk?"
Finally. What are we doing here? Are you ready to go somewhere?
Wow, you're impatient. We turn over and to see Tamara. Eyes?
Easy.
Tamara Iza.
Yep. Sir.
Tamara, the best description I can give for Tamara is Ciri from The Witcher 3. She looks
Pretty much,
very much like Ciri from The Witcher 3, scars and all. I think for weapons, her weapons she uses are a longbow, and a short sword, dual short swords. Very much a ranger kind of type. Yeah, she's definitely got that kind of ranger vibe about her. And she is in, you can see she actually has her weapons on her, and she is in, similar to you, a clean tunic, but still ready in, still has the armor and the weapons with. All right. And this is common for the Patriot Blades. You guys, it's drilled into you guys to just be prepared at all times for a fight. So, as she comes up and says, "Well, look, if you're in such a rush, let's get going then. We just got to pick up my sister."
I just don't like being in these city celebrations. If it's up to me, we'd go back to camping outside again.
Oh, well, thank Tazrin
Crowds.
that it's not up to you. And she does the tea for Tazrin.
But tonight is about Lunazra. That's what I've been hearing.
Yes, but we still have a while yet before Maiden makes reaches the peak of her dance.
Okay.
Let's go get my sister, and then we'll come back here.
Let's be hasty. This thing is just so constricting.
Well,
Ugh.
make sure you, and she starts to drag you away. She goes, "Well, make sure you keep that on, because where we're going, if it's not on, someone might mistake you for, well, let's just say an employee."
What does that mean? And as we start to walk away.
And she just kind of explains. She says, "Well, I told you my sister's a companion."
Oh. Right. And I've even told you, why don't you start working there? 'Cause I'm just getting tired of saving your ass out on the battlefield.
Excuse me. Well, lucky for you, we're off tonight, but remember who's second in command. For a reason.
This means I have the whole night to finally let it all go.
I think the two of you continue kind of like flirt talking, as you make your way towards the menagerie. You reach a cramped street outside of the menagerie. This street is a lot tighter than most, ever since it is currently home to just throngs of partiers consisting of the joyously inebriated and the blissfully grateful. People rendered into that state by the services of the establishment they are emerging from. The street to get here is more of a glorified alleyway, but it is distinct in terms of such other passages in Red Hessel. Not only when you walk in do you see a kaleidoscope of colored fabrics that decorates the walls and kind of span the gap overhead. There's also a very pleasant perfume to the alleyway, which is definitely not something people can say about most of the alleyways in Red Hessel. The entrance to the menagerie is in kind of a open plaza with a porch in the back, and the building kind of like stands upright with a balcony in the upper tiers of the building, like on the third floor. Kind of overlooks the plaza, and the plaza is kind of held in by three buildings, so kind of creating a little bit of a very closed off rectangle. This party here, this little world of the menagerie, seems to be almost cut off and private from the rest of the city of Red Hessel around it. It just feels there's just a different feeling. Here you feel welcomed, you feel an openness, right? As people are just kind of there seems to be no animosity anywhere. Everybody just seems to be so grateful to be here and around each other. And you understand very quickly why this place is called the Menagerie, as you start to see a wide variety of magical familiars that are just kind of leaping to and fro, jumping out of windows, scurrying down, the vines and ivy that are gripping the sides, running across tapestries and over tents. And then you see a few kind of like dipping out and around people's legs. They appear out of nowhere, they disappear out of nowhere. A kaleidoscope again of different sort of animals: birds, monkeys, dogs, snakes. You see every animal imaginable, and maybe even a few that are unimaginable. You have no idea what the hell that thing was that just walked by, but they're moving around the crowd. They're attending to patrons in different ways. And as you come in here, Tamara's face is just kind of just lights up. And she goes, sometimes I think that if every night was going to be like this, maybe I am in the wrong profession.
I don't know. I started feeling a little bit better as soon as we made it here. Is there some sort of magic? Are we being drugged by magic right now?
She winks at you, but doesn't answer, and continues to lead you in. She takes you up a little stone porch. There is a double door that's open, right? It actually looks like there are no doors. It's just kind of a curtain of beads and streams. It's very bohemian style, right? And as you're kind of pulled in, you see not much, admittedly, because it's very hazy. There are lots of hookahs and things around. Really, the best source of light are just the little familiars that just kind of move through the haze. And put your nose down. None of it's toxic in any bad way. Tamara, oh, hang on. I have a soundtrack for the Menagerie. Let's see.
Is it a donkey? Someone has a donkey familiar?
Someone has a donkey familiar for sure. Also, this is not the music.
Wow, what a journey.
You played a solo track of a donkey. Hold on, I got this, guys.
Fenrir.
You couldn't have planned that even if you wanted to.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Fenrir is very confused right now, hearing a donkey noise and trying to pinpoint where's it coming from.
Fenrir,
You think it's a donkey, but it's actually a client.
Yeah, it's a reverse centaur.
Probably.
Is that the position they're in, or is that the...
You can't
creature?
quite tell, honestly. It's real hazy, right? And people are kind of like tucked away into like their little different alcoves and stuff. as you guys kind of step in, there is a halfling who's kind of dressed in more of like a toga outfit, who is kind of gliding through carrying a tray with, various drinks on it. Tamara stops her and says, excuse me, I'm here for my sister, Hazel Eyes. Do you know if she's around or she's still on shift? And the halfling kind of turns back to them and says, oh, you're Tamara. Yeah, she should be down soon. And at that point, let's cut from here in this parlor up a flight of stairs, past a number of familiars, past a number of people that are kind of coming and going from different rooms in various states of dress. We pass a lot of closed doors, from which you can be heard moanings and squeaky beds.
Donkeys.
And the occasional donkey, the occasional ass, and cock.
Occasional reverse centaur.
True. Saved
it.
And cocks.
Yep.
Donkeys and cocks.
Oh my God.
Hazel, we slip under a closed door down a very kind of darkened but warm hallway, and we come to your chamber. Hazel, what do you look like? And if it's indecent, we can wait. This is a family show.
Oh, it's indecent, but I'm
Actually-
gonna describe it in great detail anyway.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. So the room itself, Hazel's chamber, is warmly lit but dim lighting. So there's just a few sparse candles here and there. There is a 4-post bed with beautiful bohemian fabrics hanging from the posts and across the canopies. Also just around the on the walls and from the ceiling, all kinds of bits and pieces of fabric and streamers and decorative stuff to make the place feel really warm and also really like insulated from sound and whatnot. There's a small desk in the corner, a little table. On the table, it looks like you could see like a small like a miniature house, like a little mini hovel. It's like almost like she's been working on a gingerbread house, but it's just made of wood. It's just like sitting there. And she is in the bed with a client, kind of tangled in the sheets, post-coitus, just basking in the glow. And she's not wearing clothes, but you do see her bright red shaggy hair just kind of tousled about. It's just above shoulder length, pretty short and just wild. And 2 fox ears coming out of the wild fluff of her hair, red fox ears. And then also coming out from underneath the sheets are 2 big, bustly, fluffy foxtails.
Oh, when you said bustly,
Yes, there are 2.
When you said 2 big bustly, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh. Continue.
Family
Carry
show,
on,
family show.
Just tails.
Just tails.
So, but you'd almost confuse it with like the fur blanket that's on top of them, because it's pure fuzzy fox fur. 2 big tails, and she is sort of you can see her figure beneath the sheets. She's big. She's curvy, not like big, but definitely has some beautiful curves. And she is sort of lounging on her client, one arm on his chest, kind of tussling through, tracing circles in his chest hair. And this client is a dwarf, a very well-known dwarf in this city. Senator Brevin Crackhammer is his name. And he's sort of just commiserating about work and responsibilities, and she's just sitting there like, Oh, that sounds so hard. Oh my gosh. Just being a good companion, being a good listener, pretending that she cares.
Oh,
And yeah, and so that's what she's doing.
yeah. You guys
Gonna
are
run out
just
the clock.
laying there, right? And the room is kind of warm, maybe a bit humid. And he's just kind of going on. And he says, now Senator Forger's all up in arms, and the sovereign elect wants to have him taken to task against oh, what was I talking about, darling?
Why don't we just enjoy the festival tonight? Put your worries to the side. They'll be there tomorrow, don't you know?
Leans back and just kind of exhales. Oh, thank you, Hazel. You can always help me refocus and get my mind right. You always know exactly
That's what I'm
I
here
need.
for.
Kind of squeezes your hand. Oh, new year, same old bullshit.
Well, let's hope it's new and improved bullshit.
With the way things are going, I doubt that, but I admire your optimism.
We will see. You know, my intuition is usually right, and I feel like it's going to be a good year.
Kind of looks over and kind of glances out the window and goes, oh my, the Nazar's getting quite up there.
Would you look at that?
I suppose I better get going. Got a few parties I got to show my face at, you know? Make a few appearances.
Of course you do.
Say, you wouldn't happen to have plans this evening? You join me? I could use a pretty little thing like you on my arm.
Oh, honey, that's so sweet of you to invite me. I've got other clients tonight. It's a very busy time here at the menagerie. But thank you for the invitation.
Well, it's always there. If you ever need it, just let me know.
You got it.
And yeah, two of you get dressed, I imagine, and
Yep.
make your way down.
Hazel puts on her red and white and black kind of kimono style silk robe.
Nice. Okay. Back to party music. Party? Is this the party music? This is as close as I got to party music.
That works.
You gotta. I'm watching. You could put the farm animals.
You want more farm animals? All right, more farm animals, and we're not going to dampen them.
Give us the donk.
A few little steps it would. Okay, there we go.
I'm watching you go through everything. I'm like,
Are you properly
I'm seeing the clear
immersed?
issue. I'm seeing the clear issue of the 4.
Okay, Hazel,
Yes.
you make your way downstairs. You pass a lot of friends, familiar faces as you are on your way out. A few winks, a few kind of, a lot of folks come up to you and kind of kiss you on the cheek. And you make your way down kind of a spiral staircase into the main parlor. Again, very smoky, very kind of steamy. You see that there are a lot of folks, you know, kind of gathered in the central parlor area is actually like dropped down a bit. So you take a few, it's kind of like a little giant indoor jacuzzi kind of deal, except it's not water. It's just comfy cushions and so not a
like
it's
a sunken living room.
Sunken living room floor.
Sunken den.
Yeah, sunken den thing, right? A lot of like comfy cushions,
Like a
and stuff.
hot tub, but
Like a hot
there's
tub.
no hot
But
tub.
no water,
water.
no hot tub. Imagine a hot tub, but it's not a hot tub.
There's no tub, and it's not hot.
Sunken. Actually, I don't know how else you would describe it. Go ahead. You do you. I couldn't do it better.
That's the term for home for homes. It's like a sunken living room situation.
So that situation is what's going on. Hazel, you walk in, and it's not hard. Again, to some people who would look out at this, they would just kind of see a sea of faces, right? And not really recognize people. And I think that's probably what Fenrir's going through, where he's looking out and he's just seeing like all sorts of stuff just kind of moving in the shadow. And it's maybe a little bit jarring as he bats away a butterfly familiar that gets a little too close to his space. But for you, Hazel, these are your people. They stand out. It's recognizable to you. This is you're at home here in a way. You pick out Tamara and Fenrir.
Tamara, over here.
Turns, grabs you, Fenrir. Ah, there you are, Hazel. We're here.
Oh, finally.
She
we
runs
found her.
up to. What'd you say?
Oh, finally we found her.
Oh. She runs up to Tamara and gives her a big hug, really warm embrace.
It's reciprocated. Oh, sister,
Oh.
how are you doing?
Happy holiday, my dear. Oh, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. We ran practice a little bit late. Our commander's kind of a hard ass, but looks like you were working real late.
Oh, always. You know I work hard on the holidays. But not too hard.
Oh.
Fenrir. Hello.
Oh, hi, Hazel.
Big hug for Fenrir.
And he does the thing where it's, it's like, you put your arms and he does the little like.
Yeah. She kind of lingers her hands on your shoulders and like just jiggles you a little bit like, loosen up, sir. At ease, soldier.
Not very comfortable in cities
I
or
understand.
whatever this environment.
Rest assured, we're all super friendly here.
Fenrir, you say,
Okay.
as you hear that and you look around, you see there's a lot of folks. You get a few eyes, a few come hither, seductive suggestions in your direction since you've walked in.
Starts looking down immediately.
Here, why don't I get you
So?
something to wet your whistle? She runs over to the bar.
Whistle. Hobgoblin bartender.
Yes.
Alternate universe Whistle is a bartender.
His name is
Multiverse.
Thistle.
Thistle. Thistle, might I have 3 fire whiskeys, please?
3 fire whiskeys coming right up. He's kind of a
Thistle's cousin.
yeah. He's kind of a Thistle is a red hobgoblin with kind of silvery graying hair, but the hair is kind of twisted and put into braids with all sorts of different beads. I think mutton chops that are also braided, so the side of the face has a little bit of like a bead curtain. They kind of jingle with little bells. It kind of works into a mustache. It kind of carries down as well. It's looks heavy. As this hobgoblin's kind of going around, just pulls out the 4 fire whiskeys, kind of sets them down on the table, and with a whistle, calls over a little axolotl salamander who kind of comes down the sleeve, right? Walks over to all of the little fire whiskeys and burps on each one and lights it
Oh.
with a bright little green flame.
Oh, thank you, baby. And she grabs all 3 whiskeys. Put it on my tab, would you? And she hustles over to her friends and passes out. There's little flaming shot glasses with whiskey in them. Bottoms up.
Oh, wait. Which god should I be thanking tonight? I lose track of these things.
Whichever one you want, honey. Doesn't matter.
There we go.
You are in the
Thank
Republic.
Munazra.
If we were in the Empire, it might be a different story. That's why we work here. Gulp.
That's right. Anything goes in the menagerie, am I right?
Oh, careful. Don't give him ideas. She kind of leans up next to Hazel and winks at you.
You've successfully made me uncomfortable.
She
I'm-
high fives you, Hazel.
All right. Well,
as you guys look around, you the rooster just went off. As you guys look around, the cock just went off.
Oh,
Nice.
there's the ass.
And there's the ass.
Yes. Yeah.
The ass response. So you guys hang out here for a bit, and then you are met by, you're joined at your table by none other than the Madame of the Menagerie. The leader, the one who schools her employees not only in the erotic arts, but also the arcane arts. The master of the Arcana Erotica, Madame Melinda Vouvienne.
Can I say we're watching her approach the table, or just that she's
No, I think
out
she-
in the open?
I think she shows up behind you.
Yeah.
You feel a hand,
Oh, okay.
Fenrir, kind of trace along your neck, and you hear a voice. You hear you hear a hot breath as you hear whispered to you. Well now who's this?
Melinda, this is my sister's partner, Fenrir.
You turn to see a gorgeous elven woman, dark hair in thick ringlets, kind of golden jewelry, kind of lace across the head. Very, very revealing, sort of long silk gown that has one leg kind of covered and the other basically revealed. And she's got lots of bangles and jewelry on her wrists. And she kind of and bright green eyes. And looks to you. Hazel, you enjoying yourself, I take it?
Always.
And who are your friends?
This is my sister Tamara and her partner Fenrir.
Tamara, Fenrir. Nice to meet you. And she holds out a hand.
Look towards Tamara,
Who nods encouragingly.
and then I put my hand out.
She goes, She and as she kind of goes to shake your hand, she holds onto it a little bit longer, and she can kind of feel a little bit of squeezing, Fenrir. And she goes, muscular. Very calloused. Hands of a soldier. I suppose that sword on your back is not just for show, then.
Oh, you are talented.
If speaking the obvious impresses you, my dear, you and I will blow your mind.
Melinda is fantastic at the art of reading fortunes.
Oh, that's what you meant.
I
Yes.
could read yours if you like.
I've met fortune tellers before.
Oh, not
Hmm.
like this.
Tend to say that as well.
Come on, let me buy you one reading. If you're up for it, Melinda.
She looks at Fenrir and she kind of trails her hand off of yours and she goes, yes. And I would offer it for free.
Well, I'm not one to turn down a free
Whoa.
service.
Hang on, time
We just
out.
switched mics.
Yeah, what happened to your mic? You just went fishbowl.
But it's,
You went full Charlie Brown. The goats are coming in much clearer than you. No,
Yeah.
worse. No, there's nothing.
No, it's fine.
Did you hear him?
Yeah,
I didn't hear him at all.
Yeah. How
Oh,
am
now
I
I can
now?
hear you. Now, yeah, now you're
you're
good.
good.
It switched to this randomly. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. Wow.
What did I say? Oh, well, I'm not one to turn down a free service, I guess.
Melinda smiles.
ahead.
And she says, both palms, please.
And so Fenrir gives his hands over, and you could see kind of like the hair starts to rise on his hands. He doesn't really like being touched by people he doesn't know. But he gives his hand, he's like looking at Tamara.
Tamara is looking at you encouragingly. There's a little bit of pride on her face, seeing you kind of step out of your comfort zone, and a little bit of excitement to kind of see what you hear. Maybe a little bit of a nervous anticipation. I would say you kind of pick that up as much as that as you would like to pick up, but more so for Hazel, you definitely pick that up coming from Tamara. You know your sister quite well. And you know that she has certain feelings where Fenrir is concerned. Fenrir. Melinda takes your hands, turns them palm up, right? And rests them in her own. And she looks around just to make sure almost like no one's watching, right? And she says, now this can be a rather intimate affair. Exploring your future. This, my dear, is all about you and what the fates have in store for you. She kind of traces a line across your palm. There's a kind of almost like an electric tingling that you feel in your fingertips. It kind of travels up your wrists through your elbows. And as she traces, she stops. She looks up at you, Fenrir. And that kind of playful, coy expression that she had on before is dropped like a mask. And in its place, you see shock. You see fear. As she looks back at you, and her eyes, those bright green eyes from before, have now become... They go, as you watch them, they start to, at the edges of the pupil, of the lens, where the colored part, it starts to get...
Iris?
Iris, that's the one. It's the iris. All the other parts of the eyes. The cornea? Actually, from the fucking cornea edge would be sick. But from the edge of the iris, it kind of just goes from that bright green, it just kind of sizzles red.
That's not good.
As we cut from here for just a moment. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy, 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 easy. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Just got to get my music track worked out here.
Yeah, the party's picking
Party's
up.
picking
outside.
up out there. Yeah, yeah. They're going crazy. Okay. Church bells chilled.
I think when Melinda's eyes turn, Hazel suddenly understands that something's really bad has
Something's been
either
out.
started happening or is about to happen, and she kind of stiffens up and leans forward to anxiously await whatever Melinda's going to say.
Melissa, as Melinda opens her mouth to speak again, that's where we're going to kind of cut away for just a moment. And we get to... Outside, time has gone on. It's hard to remember that time continues forward when you're in the menagerie. It is so intoxicating to the senses, even your sense of time. It is now the moment that the maiden's moon is set to appear in the heavens and reveal her face to the world. Midnight has struck. And with the tolling of the bell to mark the occasion, a barrage of fireworks are taking off, and as they burst in the sky to create a multicolored rainbow and just rain sparkly lights down upon the city, this dazzling display fades. And though it does, a red glow persists. People outside look up and they see, as cheers die down, all just an utter mask of confusion. What appears, instead of the beloved white moon of Lunazra, is just utterly wrong. It is the worst possible omen, because in the skies above Histaeria is a red moon, an alien moon. The ground rumbles. Waves begin to crash against the dock, and they get larger and larger with each successive hit, until eventually the sea is washing over into the streets. People are terrified, and where once there was joy, there is now mass hysteria. People look up, and flashes of light in the sky beckon their attention as they witness bright objects being ejected into the heavens from the red moon that pummel towards the world at an unbelievably fast speed. You can see as they are coming down from the heavens, as they pass clouds, they set them aglow with a red kind of orange light. The first few crashes are out in the sea, and people are just kind of like standing far back away from where the waves are crashing in, and they're pointing out and looking towards it. And then the next few crashes hitting boats that are at anchor out in the bay, just kind of crushing through them. There's a galleon that just erupts into wood and water, and then eventually onto the dock. People are running now. People are terrified. As one of them just whistles through the air, there's kind of a howling, whooshing noise, and as it just crashes into one of the buildings at unbelievable speed, the wall crumbles. People stop outside of this crater where once was masonry and a home. And instead, now, at its core, is a dark, undulating shape. People watch as heat radiates, and soon there's an ear-splitting, echoey bram that just rattles even the stoutest hearts. You like that?
That was good. It's not like you have a full soundboard of actual sound effects at your disposal.
Anna made me break.
We're doing
by the
it
way.
live.
I was almost good. Anna made me break. It's her fault.
The object...
Sorry.
You're good, you're good.
Such a dramatic moment.
You're good. The object that fell begins to untangle itself in a mass of coiled limbs until what emerges are several large mechanical spider-like creatures, each the size of a large dog. And you can also see several large brass winged spheres that take off, and they begin to kind of crackle with electricity as they take off into the sky. The mechanical spiders stalks across the floor, and some of them are going up nearby walls, and that mechanical it's like a mechanical skitter, ching 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 ching, as they're just kind of crushing through stone and wood. One of them moves up towards the crowd. The crowd, dumbfounded, unsure of what is happening. Some brave folks kind of move forward, arms held high, in a show of peace. Faces fearful. The spider kind of pulls itself up, and from its torso, these two long appendages emerge. These two long mechanical appendages, each ending in tridents. Each of these well, they're not even secondary limbs at this point with the spider. But as they kind of whir back, there's this sort of like fang shape to the front that begins to crackle with electricity and glow. And as it shoots out, it unleashes a long stream of light that twists through the air. And as it kind of moves through, you can just see it's leaving a trail of crackling little geometric shapes. And as it crashes into an individual, it just wraps around them almost like a bolus and just kind of leaves them tied up in this crackling bolus of electric geometry. And the people at this point are fucking terrified. They take off in all directions, pushing past each other in just this desperate stampede of humanity to get as far away from these creatures as they can. And as they are running away, as the second that person hit the floor, a second spider-like creature just kind of jumps in and just stabs with one clean strike through the person that was bolused. Back in the tavern. Back over.
Meanwhile,
she picks her face up, Jet, and it's just a mask of fear. She looks you in the eye, Fenrir, and she says, "Death follows you. Run." As she calls to run, you guys begin to hear chaos. Chaos outside. People are running into the menagerie, and Madame Vivienne puts your hands down, presses against your chest, and there's just this utter look of sincerity as she says, "Run."
I think Hazel quickly stands up, pushes her chair back, and recognizes immediately the severity of this coming from such a respected purveyor of pleasure and pleasantry as Melinda.
Yeah.
And says, "Follow me." Grabs Fenrir, grabs Tamara, and runs up to her chamber.
Okay. You're running past as she grabs the two of you, Fenrir, and you're taken away. You can
My
see
shirt is already off, by the way.
your shirt is already off.
That's it.
That's it. Boom. Right? You guys don't know what's going down. But Tamara gets suddenly very serious. She kind of goes from kind of like Hazel, you see her go from kind of like happy-go-lucky sister mode to second blade of the Patriot Blades mode. As she gets real serious and she goes, "All right, Hazel, how do we get out of here?"
Okay. She opens the curtain to her chamber and first runs over to the little table with the small house on it and knocks on the table a couple times. Sweet potato, wake up!
Little house. What's going on? Who dares disturb my slumber? What? Go on. Go
Something's
where?
happening. Something real bad. Come on. She holds her hand out, and it's this teeny tiny little like a field mouse.
Yeah.
With big, ears that kind of twitch and kind of, what's the word, move. And he's wearing the tiniest little bit of leather armor that you've ever seen on anything. And she grabs him and immediately just pops him up on her head. And he like settles in, grabs a couple tufts of hair, grabs an ear to hang on. And Hazel's gonna go to her window and open the window and look out at the destruction.
Yeah.
For a moment.
You see the objects falling from the sky, just you see buildings just erupting in smoke and wood off in the distance. You can hear the crowd just utter panic. You can look over and you can see the spray of the sea. The menagerie not being too far from the harbor district. just really on the border, you can see the spray kind of crashing up against the dock. To make a long story short, utter chaos. A city under siege.
Like there's like a big fight, or there's like a war, or like something.
Yeah.
It sounds like large weaponry being used.
Tamara, as you guys are looking out, Tamara looks to you, Fenrir, and goes, "Are we under attack? Is this the Empire?"
It's coming from the harbor side. We have to get to Ban.
She goes, as you guys start looking out the window, she goes, "Oh my god, guys, look up," and points to the giant red moon.
Well, that's not normal.
That's bad, right? That's real bad, right?
What the
Okay.
hell is that?
I don't know. I've never seen anything like this. Where's Bond?
Probably back at the barracks.
Okay. We'll take the rooftops. Can you jump? Looks to Fenrir. She knows Tamara can jump.
I should be able to make it.
All right.
Where do I
So
have to go?
she just says, "Follow me," and she opens a drawer, grabs her wand out of the drawer, tucks it up her sleeve. It just seems to disappear there, and with a wisp of like wind that kind of just like kind of spirals around her, she transforms into her fox form.
Ooh.
So she's in fox form, sweet potato's still on her head, and she's still got the two big bushy tails. And she hops out the window and starts hopping across the rooftops, trying to get to the barracks.
Okay. All right. What do you think, guys? Good time for a first roll of the campaign for these characters
Let's do it!
as you're hopping around. Did you guys bring dice? Did you guys remember this is actually a dice game?
I got my new dice.
We're gonna dice. Nigel, you look like you forgot dice. Subtract a hero point for forgetting dice.
Ha
Oh, I didn't have any. It's -1 hero point.
No, but do make sure you add your hero point.
Yeah, I just clicked it.
Okay.
Okay, what
Alright,
are we
I'm good.
rolling here?
For you, you're jumping across in fox form, like running along like window railings, streamers, running along wires, that kind of stuff. Flags, flag posts, balconies. Hazel,
Yeah.
for you, this is something you probably do all the time. We're gonna call this a fairly regular acrobatics or athletics.
Yeah, acrobatics.
Acrobatics? Okay.
Okay.
DC 14.
14? I can do that?
Can you?
Easy. 25.
Oh, critical success. All right, Hazel. Yeah, you're able to like you're booking it across these rooftops. Like you get up there, and before Tamara and Fenrir are even about to make their first jump, you're like 2 buildings over, and Tamara looks over to Fenrir like, "Holy shit, can she move?"
We might lose her if we continue going this slowly.
All right,
Go, go, go.
we're up. Tamara's gonna go.
So I rolled, 17 on die, 25 total.
That calls her critical success.
Hey.
I want to say because I'm going to try and run a little bit ahead of Tamara, and if I see a situation go dire, try and like look back to see if I could
Help her out. Sure.
assist in some way.
Sure. Okay. So what I will do then is I'm gonna up your roll from the 14 to with a +2 because there's gonna be that added layer of difficulty of like trying to watch for Tamara as well. So that'd bring your roll to a 16, and you rolled a 25. So not a critical success, but a regular success. A very good regular success. Luckily, Tamara also did pretty well. Very good regular success. A pretty regularly done success.
That's all right. It's ordinary.
Way to be
I get it.
ordinary, buddy.
I get it.
So you don't get any cool description. You just succeed. And
Meanwhile, Hazel's doing backflips in fox form.
Hazel's fucking parkouring off of
What's
shutters.
taking you guys so long? Backflip.
There's like an archway that connects 2 buildings, and Hazel just Prince of Persia's along the side of it.
Of course. Why
Easy.
All right.
Give me a challenge.
Okay. Well, you asked for one.
No.
You guys manage to make it your way along with the rooftops until you can really no longer make it with the rooftops as you start to hit kind of the tiered sections of the city. Now, what is rooftop is actually street level for another part of the city. But there's a large gap between kind of the tier and the buildings. We call those streets. And because it's such a large thoroughfare, you guys are forced to get down from at this point and make your way into kind of like the section of the town where you have the staircases that you'll be able to navigate up to those upper tiers. And as you make your way there, that is when you get your first glimpse of the invaders. As you are making your way forward, you see a body of somebody just kind of get thrown over from the upper tier. There's a Wilhelm scream as it just kind of twists through the sky and crashes. Before we go any further, guys, this is a good point to mention. I did it over in the Amanita and Isfit game. Content warning. Please watch out. We are going to get into some pretty violent depictions here. This is very much a campaign for adults. If you haven't picked that up by now with all the cursing and brothel, then good luck. All right, so back to the violence. The body swings through the air and there's a Wilhelm scream, and then it just hits the floor in a sickening crunch. Crack. It slides across the stone cobblestones, leaving kind of a streak of blood. Person is instantly dead upon impact. But what lingers on the trail are his little crackling trails of electricity. You start to hear the whirring sound of zzz. You look up, and it's weird. You almost have to shake your head and double check as boom, what kind of hovers down, now blocking your path, is a giant brass sphere with a central red eye and 4 wings. Very much kind of moving like that kind of hovering style, like the ships in Dune. And 2 appendages kind of sticking out the front that almost look like short swords. They're 2 bladed appendages that almost look like 2 short swords in front of you. And it looks pissed off. And that's where we're going to roll initiative.
Oh.
All right. Okay. Your first initiative. Can we do it?
Perception. Okay. Not bad. Hazel got a 20.
Good for Hazel.
Total.
21. Yeah.
20, 21. 1 second here. I'm going to move you guys back a touch here. I'm going to get you guys on the map.
I immediately go to stand in front of everyone as soon as this thing comes down.
As soon as the thing goes down. Well, Hazel's a little ahead of you right now because she was narratively. Not much. Okay.
Put my hand in front of Tamara.
All right. Here we go. So, 21 for Fenrir. And what did you get, Hazel?
20.
20. All right. Ooh. The machine did really, really well. All right. I think the machine's going first. Do you guys think a stat block would be helpful?
I can see the argument.
What, for the machine?
Yeah. Oh yeah, machine's going first. And then Tamara's last. Okay, so machine, Fenrir, Hazel, Tamara. Machine's going first. This thing flies down and surges forward, and it is going to fly forward towards you, Hazel. And it is going to strike at you with its short charge. It's short charge.
Short charge. It's short charge.
All right, for the second action, does a 14 hit you?
Hold on. No.
Even in fox form?
I
I don't know if it's any different.
Even in fox form.
Even in fox form.
Better in fox form.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
I'm so agile.
It flies in with the second thing and it tries to swing at you. But Hazel, yeah, you're able to like fox dive out of there. We'll say Fenrir's right behind you. You kind of like scurry underneath Fenrir's legs and disappear as it chomps down and scurry back out the other side. With its second action, it is going to. It's going to fly up. It's going to fly up from its current position to a height of about 15 feet above you guys.
15 feet, you say?
15 feet, I say. All right. Fenrir, you're up with Hazel on deck.
So when I do my, here, as I roll initiatives that start to fight, immediately go into rage mode.
Just as you roll initiative?
Okay.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. The trigger is initiative.
The trigger is initiative. You don't even have to ask. Just roll initiative. Ah!
It's happening.
Finally. Let's go. 15 feet above. I'm just trying to check. I don't think the high jump is that good.
Your high jump might be that good.
No. Didn't try at least 10 feet. No, what I'll do is I will throw some knives.
Throw some knives.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Knife at me, Captain.
First move, I'll do a throwing knife. That is 14 to hit.
Misses. 14 is a miss. It is going to twist in the air as your blade comes through.
See, that gives me 2. I will try one more time. That is that'll be a 17.
17 will hit. Even with the map.
This is a D4. Check damage quick. Dude, that's 6 damage from the throwing knife.
Okay.
And then my last action, I'm gonna try and do intimidate, do a demoralize.
Okay.
Just yell at it. Get down here!
Okay. Let's see, so go ahead. It has to make a will save, eh? Or no, it's you making. You're against its will
Ooh.
DC.
No, I rolled a natural 1, so I guess. Get down here!
Yeah.
Probably what it came down to.
Yeah. I think as you yell out, the stress of it all, you just kind of catch your breath and have to cough. Maybe your throat is still irritated from your time in the menagerie. Who knows? Okay. Hazel, you are up.
Okay.
Let's alter your actions. Sorry, Fenrir? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Hazel is Hazel's got eyes in fox form on this
Hazel's
creature.
got eyes in fox form? OP.
Ooh, balloons.
Someone unleashes the
Hazel.
balloons stashed next to
Ah.
Hazel.
I needed those last turn.
Best of
Fly up
all.
there.
No, Hazel's eyes are locked on the thing. The Brahm? Or is it a Brahm or
This
is
one's
it
an arbiter.
Arbiter? Okay.
You don't know that yet, but I mean,
Locked
Hazel
on
doesn't
the
know
mysterious thing that is an arbiter. And she's going to first use actually no, first she will cast a spell. She will look at this thing and like plant her paws in. She's kind of crouched down, growling, baring her teeth a little bit, and she looks up and she just flicks her 2 tails, and this big old blast of fire comes out of it.
that. Ooh.
And she's casting Scorching Blast.
Okay. Scorching blast, you say?
So, for the remainder of your turn, you can blast targets within 30 feet with this fire by spending a single action, which has the attack and concentrate. Okay, so it's a ranged spell attack. This is What is my spell attack? Okay, +7. Okay. Ooh, not good, not good. I'm gonna use something called Let's Try That Again. It's a
Okay.
reaction.
Oh, let's
Once
just try
per day,
that again.
I failed a check, so I'm going to
Try it again.
reroll.
Try it again. Sure.
Let's
Okay.
try that again. I have to use this, even if it's worse. It's not worse.
Avi.
It's gonna be a total of 15.
Total of 15, unfortunately, is going to miss.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay.
17 then.
So that misses. Then I will just change my shape back into Hazel.
Okay. All right. You shoot off your firebolt. The creature, similar to as it dodged Fenrir's attack, kind of twists in the air and avoids the fire that you shoot off. Next up is Tamara. Tamara's going to draw her bow with one action. She's going to fire an arrow with the second action. She's going to miss. And she's going to try again with the map. That'll hit. Ooh, well done, Tamara. Tamara leaves it very injured. Okay. So what happens this round is the creature comes in, attacks Hazel in fox form. Hazel manages to dodge. As the creature is flying away, Fenrir throws a knife at it, manages to kind of clip it with one of the knives. As it's spinning through the air, Hazel, you shoot a firebolt. The creature corrects itself and kind of in trying to dodge your firebolt, lines up Tamara's shot. As she kind of gets a beat on it, shoots 2 arrows. One of them kind of goes wide. The second one flies true and hits the creature. Hits the machine. There's kind of like an internet disconnecting noise as it kind of spins, spiraling
Dial-up.
backwards. There's like the red light kind of trailing behind it. Electricity crackling, right? That is not a glitch in your ears. That is actually part of the track. All right, back to the top of the order.
Oof.
Okay, this thing is heavily injured. It is going to fly down between all of you with one action, and then it's going to spend 2 actions to unleash an electrical burst from its body. I need reflex saving throws from all of you.
Oh dear. $17.
21.
Both are both are regular successes, and Tamara also regularly succeeded.
Do I need to roll that for sweet potato?
No, I'll just kind of sweet potato is on top of you.
Okay.
Okay. You each take 9 damage. Oh no, sorry. Regular success is half. You take 4 damage.
4.
Oh no, always round up. 5. 9 divided by 2, 4.5. Round up.
I always round down. No?
Not in 2e.
Okay.
For players and monsters, you always round up. So 5.
Okay.
5 electric damage, and with that, the creature spends its turn and is now stunned. You can see as it kind of it flies down. Tamara yells out, "It's gonna do something!" and dives out of the way as it kind of comes down and just unleashes this electrical burst from the core. It just whirs wildly. The blades kind of stick out, and the electricity just crackles out of it. Just. And then it kind of now, as you all kind of collect yourselves, the smell of ozone still lingering in the air, your hair kind of standing on end. You look over and you can see that the creature is now stunned.
Ooh.
Okay.
So sweet potato did take that damage as well, right?
Sure.
I mean, if it's an area.
If it's an area of effect, yeah, within a
it's a
10-foot
creature,
emanation,
yeah.
yeah. Sorry, sweet
Okay.
potato.
Okay, sweet potato's hurting.
Okay. Fenrir, you're up. There, it is now stunned next to you. It played its ace, and seems you all did very well, or you all succeeded.
So now Fenrir is very happy in this moment because it came to Fenrir. So he's taking out his sword, which I think if I draw my sword, even if it's with like a two-handed grip, is it still one, or is it draw it and then interact for a second hand?
Well, I think I'm gonna say you can draw it is two-handed, like
As soon as
just
you draw it, you go into the two-handed
I would
grip.
yeah,
say so.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll look up the rule, but I would say you can draw and two-handed the same and with one action.
So yeah, so after the blast, he grips it, goes with two hand, and just yells as he goes down and does a huge swing
With a huge
for
swing.
19 to hit.
19 to hit. 19 is definitely gonna hit.
That is 15 damage.
Fenrir, you're first. How do you want to do this?
Ah.
Muted. I can't hear shit. I still can't
Nope,
hear it.
still muted.
Still muted. Oh no. You're first. How do you
He's
want to
like,
do this?
"Aw."
The machine's got revenge.
No.
The arbiters are in your system. With its last action, the arbiter. Check your
getting
wire. Did you
hacked,
unplug
man.
it? He unplugged it. The slaying was so epic, it unplugged the wire. Oh boy.
Oh.
Should be good now.
Yeah, you're coming in now.
Yeah.
Nothing happened in the last 3 minutes.
Oh, now
So
you're.
he gets his sword.
Yeah.
What?
No, you're good. You're good now.
Yeah?
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
He get- no, I'm paranoid. He gets his sword and he goes, ah, and he slices right through it. And as it hits the ground, he kind of curves it so it hits the ground and it keeps moving, and then he gives it a shoulder shove
Mm,
to slam it against the wall.
okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Fenrir, you cut down. As you cut through the metal, electricity just kind of crackles all around you. So you just leave a giant canyon in this thing's round metallic form, and you just shoulder check your shoulder, kind of lining up exactly where that gash is. And as you crash it into the wall, it just splits open, and just like a tear of metal and wood and stone and glass as it just crashes into the wall, breaks a window, falls. I can't. Dead? Machine dead? Inoperable.
Powered
Yeah.
down.
Powered down at your
Yeah.
feet. Okay. Guys, that is your first kill. And that's where we're going to take our break for this session. All right. Friends, thank you so much for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the session so far. Fenrir and Hazel are on the move. And we are going to be as well in just a moment. We're going to be taking a quick 10-minute break. We'll see you back here in 10 minutes. Again, get a drink of water, stretch your legs, let your dogs out, all the good things. Guys, bye-bye.
dicks.
Nice, you got it. You
Body.
You didn't, or you didn't. Hey everybody, welcome back to Stealthy Elf Productions. We are playing a little bit of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. This is part of our Heroes of Histaeria campaign series. This is our new campaign, New World Rebellion. And we are doing the 0 sessions of Hazel and Fenrir. Where we left off, it is Old Year's dusk in the city of Redhessel. This is the night that marks the end of the year. Everybody has been anxiously awaiting the midnight, the peak of Lunazra's dance across the sky, Lunazra being the moon, and everybody was hoping that she would reveal a full moon, a big white full moon, but that's not what happened. Instead, there was a red moon, and everybody is freaking the fuck out because now machines have landed in the city from the sky, ejected by the red moon, and an invasion of these machines has begun. They seem to be slaughtering people in the street, and things are real bad. So, folks, before we go any further, please know there's a content warning for this session and all of the New World Rebellion sessions. Lots of violence, lots of gore. If that's going to bother you, you probably don't want to be here. All right, let's go back into it. You guys just killed your first arbiter.
Oh.
Do you guys want a moment to go over that? Or otherwise, we can just keep going. You would say you just continued gunning it down the street, right? You're passing a lot of like storefronts and stuff. As you peer inside, you can see people kind of huddled up and hiding, right? A lot of folks are scared, right? You can hear screaming and fighting. There's a constant buzz of electricity that is very new sound to you all. Again, that is on the track of Soundtale, that electricity buzzing in your ear. That is not your computer or anything glitching out. You're meant to hear that electricity.
Unless it is.
Unless it is, in which case, get a new headset or whatever.
Yeah, new headphones.
Get new headphones. Okay, so you guys continue booking it,
Okay.
right?
We're running.
You're running. You pass people again, kind of hiding in the store. You can see corpses. You can see people that have been killed lining the street. You know, you pass a body that's kind of like propped up awkwardly against a broken crate. You see someone like kind of doubled over a windowsill. Yeah, things are bad.
I feel like just for the sake of tragedy and disaster, Hazel sees like, I don't know, the newspaper boy or something.
Oh yeah.
Or like some awfully tragic child dead in the street.
Oh.
And she's like, fuck.
Yeah, it's brutal. Tamara is also just like jaw clenched, just angry as hell. And that's I think the predominant emotion is angry. She's kind of sharing in Fenrir's rage, who's raging, who's hulking out.
Yeah, Hazel's
Pretty
a little
much,
more
yeah.
frantic.
Okay.
There's no like. This is a weird question, but like everyone's, like all the dead bodies in their heads. Was anything done with
What?
that? Because we had a. Didn't they used to like? slip up-
Yeah. Back in the like pre-shift, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Now it's just slaughter.
Oh, okay, cool.
Now it's just
anything
slaughter.
going on with their heads?
Anything going on with them? No, that's a great question. Yeah, because back
Just
before
that,
the
right?
shift, so like what Lunazra would remember. Yeah, what people would
Okay.
remember. But yeah, okay. You guys
Got it.
book it through. You book it through. You pass an overturned tree, but you guys make it up to here. You make it up to that second tier, right? This map is Chainpeku, by the way. Chainpeku, it's great. They're great maps. Highly recommend. This is you can see very destroyed stuff. That's what we really wanted for this. Their maps are great. Where you're
Not
gonna
a
see
sponsor.
not a sponsor.
clarify.
Just happy with them. Okay. And our opening soundtrack was Tabletop audio too, so great stuff.
Tabletop audio. And here we're listening to Soundtale.
And Soundtale, lots of apps make this possible. Thanks, apps. Okay.
Okay.
You guys see as you're moving in, one of those mechanical spider creatures appear on the roof. You haven't seen one of them before, but you start to hear the crunching on the roof. Hang on, I'm just going to move you guys in order. I imagine it's going to be something like this. Is probably your marching order. Fenrir up front, Tamara, and then Hazel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, Fenrir, as you step into this little courtyard, you see on the roof of the building ahead of you, kind of appearing in silhouette against the flames, a giant mechanical spider. You can see the electricity kind of crackling around it as it seems ready to pounce onto your party. Okay, and let's roll initiative.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
25.
boy. Natural 1.
Ah. Fumble.
Spiders.
Yeah, 25 is yeah, 25 as well.
Okay, you guys
Jeez,
can
what do you have,
decide.
plus-
Yeah, you guys can decide who
plus
wants to go
6?
or whatever.
You want to go first?
Don't we do the higher modifier?
You can, but I would say you guys are teammates. If you can decide how you want to do it.
I'll
My
go
deck's
first.
only +1.
Okay,
Anyway,
mine too,
fuck.
but that
Oh.
whatever. You
I'll
why
say
don't
you
you go
go.
first? You're in the front.
Sure. So 25. Okay, so
Okay.
the order is
Unless there's
Fenrir.
a strategic reason for me to go first.
Nigel, if we start and you go, I delay my turn. You son of a bitch.
You go first.
I didn't even think about that, but that's a good thinking.
Okay, so the order is Fenrir, Hazel, Tamara, Brahm.
Okay.
Okay. Fenrir, you are up, my friend. What do you do as you see this giant mechanical spider? It sets its sights clearly on you. Its 8 little bulbous eyes just kind of locked in on you, and then that strange kind of electric geometric crackling appears between its little front-facing fangs.
First thing I'll try and do. Let me check quickly how long are these 20 feet. This thing around 20 feet. It is not. I'll use one action to move. I guess as close as possible because I think that brings me within range.
Yep.
I'll throw one of my daggers at it.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 24 to hit.
24 is gonna hit.
24. That's 8 damage from that.
Nice.
Ooh.
And then I'm gonna bring up my gauntlet and go into a sort of defensive stance because it has the parry attribute. Which ups my AC by +1.
Oh, that's very cool. Very cool. Okay, Fenrir, yeah.
Nice.
Fenrir races across the field as he's running, draws the dagger, and throws it,
Throws it.
flies through the air, and you can see as it lands and just gets embedded in the metal of the creature. It just kind of perfectly hits a little kink in the armor as the blade is lodged into the creature. And Fenrir, you finish off landing and pointing your crossbow at it in a defensive stance. All right, Hazel, you're up.
Nice. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is cast a shielding spell on Sweet Potato. So I wave my hands in this area, and there's this like an orb, like a transparent kind of orangey, red-orange orb that surrounds Sweet Potato.
Oh, thanks,
So-
darling. Oh, it's warm in
If-
here.
Yeah, stay warm.
Is this the
So
voice that
if
it's using?
he gets hit something, I can have a reaction to protect him. And then I drop my arm to the side and my wand slides out of my sleeve and I catch it in my hand and I point it towards the thing and I big swoosh and I'm casting Slashing Gust, which has a 60-foot range.
Wait,
So I need
you can cast both spells? both 3. There's 2 and 1.
One's a cantrip.
Oh no, but the action economy.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Protect companion is 1 action. This is slashing gust is 2.
Oh wow. Okay. Really nice.
Okay, this is gonna be a spell attack against your AC.
Spell attack me.
Oh, that's shitty.
Sorry.
I'll use a hero point.
Hero point me.
Okay, that's better. 20 to hit.
20 to hit. 20 will hit.
Okay. You're gonna have a regular success. You're gonna take some damage.
Uh-oh.
Okay. You take 3. What kind of damage? Slashing damage.
3 slashing damage.
Not as epic as I wanted it to be.
That's okay.
Is it like 3d4 or something? What is it?
It's 2d4. I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Okay, 3 slashing damage. Okay. All right. Then that is your turn, Hazel.
Yeah.
Okay. Potato protected. Wind
Potato.
slashing. And then Tamara's up. Tamara's had the longbow drawn for a while now, so we are going to cut. She's going to cut to the side. And she's going to strike at this guy. She's going to miss. Second shot. She's going to miss again. 2 shots going to go. They look actually pretty on target, but it looks like she was going for like the metallic legs, thinking, you know, maybe she can kind of knock it off balance or something, but it looks actually like it's pretty sturdy in there. It's hanging onto that house, and it's almost like sideways as it's now just shrugs those 2 attacks off. Okay. Its turn is up. Who ready? Who ready for a Braum? Okay, Braum. Braum is going to use a fractal bolus at Fenrir. Holy shit. Fenrir, that's going to be a 20...
Well, it hits.
Sorry? 22.
Well, doesn't crit.
It,
Okay.
it hits.
It hits? Okay. That's a good roll on the dice. Okay. Okay, Fenrir. You are shot with that fractal bolus. The bolus is going to try to wrap around you. So, you are now... It wasn't a critical hit, right? So, you're a clumsy 1, and you have a -10 to your movement speed.
Okay.
Okay. With you successfully wrapped, it's going to make its way down. It's got a range of 10 feet, so it's going to kind of be hanging on the building, and it is going to take a strike at you, Fenrir, with its little trident arms. 1 action to shoot, 1 action to move, 1 action to spider arm. Yeah, that's right. Okay. That's going to be a dirty 20 to hit you.
That would hit.
Okay. That is going to be 4 piercing damage. Plus, it's hitting you. It's going to use its merciless. It's going to engage its merciless thrust feature because you are clumsy. And while you are clumsy, you are susceptible to its merciless thrust. So it's going to deal an additional d6.
That's weird.
So an additional 3 piercing damage.
7 total.
For the merciless thrust.
Thrusting mercilessly.
It's thrust. The creature fires a fractal bolus at Fenrir. It wraps around him, and leaving him clumsy.
Thrusting.
And then it moves its way down and starts mercilessly thrusting at Fenrir. All right, Fenrir,
Just
you're
humbling
being
I need an
thrusted
adult.
at mercilessly, and you are clumsied and torn and caught by this fractal. You can roll it. You can try to escape against the escape DC, or you can do whatever you want to do otherwise. But it's your turn.
Okay, so I have pretty much like 15 feet of movement here. It's against the wall, so does that mean if I move here, it's still a distance away from me?
Yeah, you can. Well, no, you can hit it.
Because okay, so if that's the case, then I'll take that step. Pull out the sword and I'll go for an attack.
An attack. Go for the attack.
Get him, Penny.
And I'll use a hero point because I want to hit it so badly.
Yeah,
Another
so
dice.
heroic.
Did I give you a hero point for the first kill? Trying to remember.
No.
I don't think so.
You get retroactively. You're getting one for the first kill. The first. How do you want to do this?
Woohoo!
Sick.
This is a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
19 to hit's gonna hit.
Okay, then the damage is 18 damage.
Woo! What?
Oh, mama.
What?
It's D12 plus 10.
Jeez, 18 damage.
Dude.
Holy shit! I
Holy.
underestimated how much damage you could put out.
Level 2 only.
Holy shit! Yeah, it's real bloodied, guys. It's real hurt. Even with your clumsy.
And that's just for me, because
Oh yeah.
so that's the secret, David. I'm always clumsy
Really?
in rage. Yeah, so you can add clumsy to me, but those things don't stack
That's true.
unless you do clumsy too. So
No, I wouldn't. I
shit.
think. Okay.
That's my secret, David. I'm always clumsy.
Wow.
yeah, every
That's
time I
great.
rage, I'm clumsy. That's how I hold the bigger weapons.
Oh
Fun
man.
fact.
That's awesome. Okay.
That's why I have to use my gauntlet sometimes. But yeah,
Wait,
that's my turn.
can clumsy stack? Can you get clumsy too?
I
No,
think
you
the only
take
way you
the
get to clumsy
highest
too.
of... Yeah.
Exactly.
You take the highest of whatever clumsy effects
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
are
like-
on you.
Yeah. So just clumsy one. Okay. Damn.
I'm just always clumsy.
Wow. Well, that means that this thing's always going to get to mercilessly thrust you.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Merciless
Okay.
for us.
All right, Fenrir, you run up and you clumsily pivot through the slash with your greatsword, or I don't know if it's a greatsword. With your sword, your
Yeah.
obnoxiously large greatsword, it like cuts the air. Yeah, there's just a whoom and a crunch of metal as you break through this thing's carapace. There's just sparks flying. It unleashes just this horrific bram noise. And you can see the lights on its face just kind of flash
quality.
and just bzz, 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 like you almost had it unconscious because that shit hurt. Okay, that's how you know it's bloodied, because its lights are blinking.
Almost
Nice.
done.
It's got the
It's
hazards
weak to
on.
slashes.
All right.
It
Okay,
bleeds, so it can die.
Hazel, you up.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to move up a little bit. I think. Do I need to
Hazel's
move?
moving on up in the
Let's
world.
see. Where the hell? That's my ruler. Yeah, I do need to move up like 10 feet. So,
Come on in, the water's fine.
I'm going to move right about there.
Welcome.
And then I move my wand in a swirling motion and I say, Wildling Steward, light him up. And poof, I cast Ignition.
Ignition.
So, spell attack. Ooh, 23.
23 hits. Roll damage.
Regular success.
Regular successful damage.
Regular. Okay, you get... Okay. You get 4 fire damage.
Ouch. right.
Nice.
Fenrir, Hazel runs up behind you and fires. Your instincts tell you to duck just in time as the fire just hits the creature, and you can see the flames just kind of inject into the metal and kind of steam out of the sides of the body. Was that from your wand,
my turn.
Hazel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look back, Hazel's.
There's like a little smoke coming out of her wand, and she goes,
Yeah. All right. Okay, that's your turn. Tamara's up. Tamara's gonna take shots. Shot 1.
finish him tomorrow.
That's a 2 on the dice. Retired.
Oh, boy.
Try again tomorrow. Try again tomorrow.
God damn it.
Oh, shit.
That is a better roll, but with the map, that's a miss. Tamara's.
You cannot roll for NPCs, man.
Yo,
Just-
it's so bad.
This is that elephant, whatever that thing is.
Oh,
on
that's a
the
decent roll. Hang on.
ridge.
Nope. Still doesn't make its AC.
Tomorrow.
3
He's
shots.
gonna get another
Bing,
attack
bing,
off
bing.
on you.
Yep. Leaving it now the Brahm's turn.
Now I'm gonna get thrusted again.
Oh, you gonna get thrusted again. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and thrust at Fenrir.
Get thrusted, bitch.
Come on, give me a good roll, dice.
Give me a good thrust.
11 to hit you, Fenrir?
Misses. My AC is 18 right now.
18.
You thrust a little too far to the right.
Oh, there's a 19 on the dice with the map. Still a hit. Let's see, hang on. 19.
Wait, multiple attack penalty?
I know, yeah, it's a 14.
-5.
Yeah, and then plus its modifier.
Which is?
I know. Now I realize I have to tell you, which is why I was trying to figure. I'm trying to figure out right now how to phrase it without telling you the number.
It's too late.
Plus.
I don't know.
8.
I don't trust you. You gotta say what the number is.
14 plus 8.
Oh, it hits.
So 6 plus 4, 24 to hit you. So it'll hit you. All right.
Good.
Well, it gets a merciless thrust dice added onto this.
Who doesn't
Good
like a
thrust.
good merciless thrusting?
I like a merciful thrust, personally.
10 thrusting 10 thrusting pierce damage to you.
Okay. Is that the total?
Yeah, that's the total.
Or, okay, gotcha.
Okay, so that was 2 attacks. Third attack.
There's 2 thrusts.
Third attack is real hurt. Third attack is gonna
Come
back
at me,
up.
bro.
It's gonna no. It's gonna back. It's not gonna come at you, bro. It's gonna back up the wall. It's gonna run along the wall this way. It wants to get back up high.
Just trying to get high.
Trying to get high. Trying its best to get high. So yeah. I don't want it to get all the way. It's gonna try to like make its way across the rooftops to there, and it's lining up a shot. It looks like at Tamara,
Tamara!
sensing that Tamara is clearly the weakest.
Ashitaka!
Okay. Top of the order, Fenrir, you up.
What
You
can
need
I
to get
do? I think I'll
untangled.
try. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I'll roll for an escape.
Okay.
There's a 13 escape.
No.
Is there a map on rolling escape rolls?
Yes, because it does have the attack action.
Okay. I mean,
And then, so you know for escape, you can either do an attack roll or an athletics check, right? Whichever's higher for you.
it would have been the same thing.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna try it again. That's not
Got
gonna do
another
it.
hero
That
point.
was a 1.
That's not going to do it.
Might as well use the hero point. But...
Yeah.
You think I won't kill you in a 0 session? You might need that hero point.
Seriously.
Well, that's an
You just have to
18.
do some awesome shit. Get more hero points.
18? 18 to escape? Yeah, 18 makes it.
Phew.
Oh, hang on. You also take 1d6 each time you attempt it. So that's 3 attempts, right?
2.
2.
I just used the hero
Oh
point. as a second one.
no.
5 and 1. Between the 2 dice, it's 6 slashing damage each time you attempt.
Shh.
6.
Does
Okay,
that get
got it.
halved for rage like in D&D?
No. Not in Pathfinder.
I
Barbarian-
don't know how rage works in Pathfinder.
It's mostly a damage boost, honestly.
Okay.
And I guess I'll just move some movement.
Mm-hmm.
Try and move there. That's about it.
What's your health at right now, Fenrir?
10.
Oh.
What?
Oh, Fenrir's bloodied. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah, so
So we
can
gotta kill
just-
this thing.
we could just hit it.
Okay. Let's see, Hazel.
Ugh.
This is your round.
Okay, Hazel.
Otherwise, your friends gotta watch out.
Hazel is going to. Whoa, what is going on? There we go. Okay. Hazel's gonna move. Hold on. Please hold.
Holding.
There it is. Okay. She's going to move here and cast once again with a swish of the wand. She will cast ignition.
It's ignition. Roll attack roll.
Kill it with fire.
Trying. Motherfucker. I'm gonna use my last hero point.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my god, it's the same roll. Why?
Damn.
Sorry.
Okay.
The D20s
does a
have not been with you tonight.
Does a 13 hit?
No.
Beep.
13 does not, unfortunately, hit. Sorry.
She walks forward with gusto and swishes her wand and misses and just stands there frustratingly.
Okay. Tamara's up.
Yep. Couldn't possibly miss 3 times in a row again. She's second in command.
Tamara is going to
Please.
run up and use battle medicine on Fenrir.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That works too.
But now I might regret it. Let's see.
You
All
can't
right.
put your bias as the DM into it.
Fenrir,
I
you
was making
get
fun of the DMs.
10 hit points back.
Cool.
That is a lot. Got it.
And then second action does not like the way we are all grouped up. Tamara's going to back up. Actually, we can get off angle. Here we go. All right, that's Tamara's turn. Okay. It is the Brahm's turn. Brahm is going to... Fenrir, you've been healed, but you still look fairly injured. You're already clumsy, so I will always get a merciless thrust on you. It's going to get... if I go here... Yep. Okay. Gonna do one move to get over here, and then we're gonna take an attack at each of you.
Okay.
We're gonna start with Fenrir, because if this hits Fenrir, then who knows? Maybe I change the plan. That is a 3 on the dice,
Burn
so
all
that
your
ain't gonna hit you.
actions. Stay right there.
All right. Second attack is going to go for you, Hazel.
Okay.
Wow. I rolled a 3 and a 1. Okay.
Shame.
Rom is going to move, and it's going to whiff both times. As it's like kind of skittering across the walls. It like jumps from roof to roof, lands. There's a kind of a spray of roofing tiles as it kind of crunches its way along the rafters. It leans over, and the two tridents kind of like dip like little serpents for just a moment, and then just shoot out with like pinpoint, perfect accuracy and timing and space. It has a very machine kind of feel to it. Right, Fenrir, you get your blade up in time. Hazel, you just kind of contort out of the way as it tries retracts, and now it's kind of like it's sitting there in an exposed position. Fenrir, Hazel, you two are up. Your rebuttals, please.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Who's gonna get it? It's real hurt.
Probably Fenrir.
Well, I'll move in. Does an 18 hit?
An 18. Hang on now. Because of where it is, it's a little bit of a tricky hit. Right? Because it's on the roof, and it's like behind kind of like an awning kind of thing.
Partial cover or something?
That's what I'm thinking. Right? You could try to jump up there. I will allow you to take the second.
Looking up.
Yeah, so one action to move, one action to kind of like jump off of it, and then I'm not gonna make it a DC 30. Like that's just crazy.
That can't be right.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a little 5 foot that you're trying to hit. Like you kind of.
I would burn through those two actions
Yeah.
if it gives that cleaner hit.
Yeah, it'll give a cleaner hit. And we can keeping the attack roll, but let's see what the athletics is for the jump.
Athletics. Let's use you. That is a 20.
20 will succeed. So 20 will succeed, so you get the attack at that roll. So 18 hits. You meet the AC.
Yeah, it would be like all of this for miss.
Yeah, that'd be a dick move, wouldn't it?
That's 14 damage.
14. Fenrir, how do you want to do this?
I think I go for the jump / and I get I nick side of it. It goes through, but the blade keeps going and it impacts the roof as well. So it crushes the roof and then it falls down with a third of it coming down with it.
Perfect. Yeah, Fenrir jumps up, kind of hits the creature as the blade cuts through the metal. There's that kind of screeching noise, but it's still a very clumsy strike, right? This is still a very heavy blade, right? And you can't help but hit the roof below it, right? Just tear through the awning, tear through the wall, glass shattering, electricity crackling, Brahms brahming. The
Such a clumsy boy.
12 days of Christmas, all right here.
12 Brahms of Brahming.
All right. Guys, that brings us to the end of that fight. You guys successfully dispatched the Brahm.
Ooh.
Fight is over.
Okay. You have to keep going.
Sweet potato, are you all right?
Oh, partner. That was a hot one.
Hang in there. Oh, I'm doing Farron. Hang in there. We'll get to safety soon.
Oh, I hope
Come on, we gotta run.
I sure hope so. Wait. Oh, shit, partner. Look up. You guys look up and you can see that on the roofs ahead there are 2 more Brahm that just kind of have now skittered into view. They start to the eyes kind of turn, all lock on the 3 of you, and you can see them as they start crunching their way crunk, 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 along the walls.
There's too many. We have to go.
Fenrir gets the blade out. Tamara starts to kind of knock an arrow and goes, all right, Hazel, you start running. Fenrir and I can hold him off.
She reluctantly looks at Tamara, her sister, who's been there for her whole life. And with a wisp of fiery air, shifts into her fox form and starts running away.
Okay. Hazel, just as you shift into your fox form and you're about to take off, a figure steps out from an alleyway to block your party between the two, now to stand between your party and the two Brahm that are coming up. And you see that the figure, there's kind of a screeching noise as the figure is dragging a long halberd. And the head of the blade is just kind of dragging across the ground, and there's little sparks flying behind it. You see that the individual that steps before you is a very handsome, very tall, very muscular, athletically built elf. His hair is like platinum blonde, and it is pulled back very, very tight. His very sharp, angular features, kind of lupine almost, if I were to describe him. And he's dressed in a very tight-fitting cloak, and you can see that there are like golden buttons kind of in a row, in 2 rows down the chest where it kind of crisscrosses and clasps on. And as he kind of steps out, he speaks, "Fenrir, Tamara, look alive, will you? There's enemies afoot." Commander Bond steps onto the scene, and as he kind of calls out to the two of you, he flicks the halberd up, lunges forward, and in one long, big swing, halberd whistles through the air, catches one of the Brahm, and he continues to swing around and slams it into the other Brahm. He then kind of does a twist with the wrist, pushes off of the ground, kind of goes hands in like a handstand up, where he kind of points the halberd now directly above the Brahm, and he's balancing. He twists his weight, flips, and comes down with the halberd onto the 2 Brahm and splits them both in 2.
Woohoo!
Commander Bond,
Commander Brahm.
Commander Brahm dispatches the two Brahm. Fuck this, real quick.
Commander Bond gets rid of the Brahm.
Real quick.
On the Brahm sailor. I
Real
was
fast.
trying to say Slayer.
Okay,
The Brahm Slayer.
so with this, Commander Bond reunites with your group. I think this is a good place where we are actually going to hop out of this scene, unless you guys have any initial reactions that you want to offer up as Bond appears. Anything we're on now?
I
No.
think the only thing I would say
Hazel's
is
Well, Hazel's just
I mean, I'll
running and
just
looking
say
over her
we're just
shoulder like,
safe area.
"Damn." Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then let's hop over to, unfortunately, the aftermath.
fast forward everything.
Okay.
2 hours later.
2 hours later. So, the city of Red Hessel fares quite poorly in the aftermath of the invasion. The waters continue to rise up until eventually there is a first wave, a large wave, like a tsunami-like event that kind of crashes into the coast, just destroying most of the harbor district. It's a tragic night. Commander Bond, along with your group, along with Tamara and Fenrir, do manage to orchestrate something of a defense. It's a very militia sort of defense. It's mostly made up of, people who live in the city, who dwell in the city. It's you noticed right away that it wasn't a lot of guards, a lot of the watchmen, a lot of the soldiers. Those guys, it seems, as in the aftermath, as things are unearthed, you learn that those guys were mostly protecting the senators over at the Liberty Citadel. So Bond becomes something of a folk hero in town. A lot of those who survived owe it to Bond and the Patriot Blades. They very much believe that the Patriot Blades are the heroes of Red Hessel. Bond is even held up as the hero of Red Hessel. You guys start to learn over time, though. Hazel, this is mostly for you, through more visits with Brevin Crackhammer, who has an inside ear on the goings-ons of the Liberty Citadel, and somewhat the thinking of Caleb DePosto, the sovereign-elect, the head of state of the Republic. You learned that Caleb is somewhat threatened by Bond's rise, and the two do not get along well. That's something you learn secondhand, of course. Tamara and Fenrir, you guys learn this firsthand. You learn that Bond does not like Caleb DePosto. You know that Bond thinks Caleb is selfish and a poor leader. But you guys don't really have time for politics, Fenrir and Tamara, because you guys are on missions a lot. You're dispatched to neighboring towns, neighboring settlements. You're acting as escorts for folk who are either coming or going from Red Hessel. The Patriot Blades are very busy. They are not charging for their mercenary skills, but their numbers are growing. A lot of people you're seeing more people join. And again, Bond is constantly being upheld as this hero of Red Hessel. So, several months go by. About 3 months. Somewhere in that time, Caleb delivers an announcement that he declares that the prisoners of Tempest Isle, they are to be freed. They're to be reinstated into the community of Red Hessel. Caleb preaches community and union, talks about bringing people together again as babies cry horrifically. Let's do this. Let's take that.
The
out.
timing on that was.
Yeah, there we go. We'll take out some of those ambient noises. But Caleb decrees that he wants to bring the prisoners of Tempest Isle back into Red Hessel, and this is not a popular decision. A lot of people say that he's doing this because he wants to bolster his numbers against Bond. A lot of people are saying that the prisoners are going to be offered some kind of like sweetheart deal to more act as like Caleb's personal army, because the prisoners of Tempest Isle live a very hard life. They're hard people, and they are mostly orcs, a collection of orc tribes. Bond, you guys learn, really doesn't like this, and he's threatening to leave Red Hessel if this is going to be the case. But on one last mission that he has, he sends Fenrir and Tamara to the town of Bosford. Tamara reaches out to you, Hazel, to let you know that this mission has come up. And this is important because Bosford is the town that the two of you grew up in, the town that you came from. Fenrir, you also came from Bosford, didn't you? But not really much of a family there. More like an orphan, kind of raised by a farmer, essentially.
For a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Before you got of age and then went out and joined the Patriot Blades at like 12 or something crazy. Okay. So, your mission takes you all to Bosford. Hazel, do you go along? Assuming you go along with Tamara.
I think it's a tough choice for Hazel because she's sort of pulled in these two directions. She's got Red Hessel is the home that she's made for herself that she could stay and work on rebuilding, versus Bosford is the home that she grew up at and is probably also destroyed. And she knows that her mother is still in Bosford. We had talked about this, David, just a little backstory recap I'm remembering just now. Her father canonically has passed away, and her mother is running the tavern.
Okay.
Um,
So Mudella's still there.
so Mundella is running the
Running
tavern
the
on her
tavern,
own.
yeah.
So I think it is tricky because she's not on good terms with her mother for a variety of reasons. But I think ultimately she decides, she hasn't spoken to her mother in 6+ years. It's probably time, with everything going on, to pay her a visit and make sure she's okay. So
Sure.
she will go with them.
Okay. On the subject of your hovel as well, let's see if that made it.
Ooh.
Roll a d20.
You got me roll?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't have any hero points. My
You've rolled so
hovel.
well all night. Why are you so worried? Should be
I'll
easy.
tell you right now.
Talking about.
Well, 50-50 shot.
Okay.
1 to 10, 11 to 20. If you get a 1 or a 20, it's extreme.
11.
Hovel is fine.
Wow.
The hovel is fine. A 20 would have
That-
improved it, but
That makes the decision easier
okay.
for her too, because her hovel is not. It's not the menagerie. It's not in the heart of Red Hustle. Her hovel is sort of on the outskirts of town, and it's like truly the home that she built, the place that is home to her. So, with that being okay, and the rebuilding kind of going on in Red Hustle and having some momentum behind it, she is going to travel to Bosford
Excellent.
with Fenrir and tomorrow.
Excellent. Fenrir, you're going into Bosford, right? Yeah, you spent some time there, but Fenrir, you're not. Excuse me. You're not particularly attached to Bosford, I understand, right? What about all this
No.
business with Bon and Caleb the Posto and being the hero of Red Hessel and ordering you about? How do you feel about the Patriot Blades gaining some major name ID? Bon specifically.
Overall, it's probably something Fenrir's been thinking about for a while. That he joined the Patriots Blade. He joined the Patriots Blade. He's been helping Bond for so long that he wants to step out of his shadow and walk his own path.
Yeah.
Hopefully, one day maybe Bond can see him as an equal, for example.
Sure. Yeah, because it's definitely not the case. Bon orders Fenrir about, but very much sees you as a subordinate right now. Yourself and Tamara. Yeah. And it's ironic because, I mean, again, Fenrir and Tamara are the one doing all these missions, making their way out of the city, right? Going against like the wild Brahm that are still roaming around, bandits and all sorts of desperate folk that you run into out there. I mean, the world is not at its best right now, especially out on the road. And Fenrir and Tamara are the ones getting people through all of those things. Meanwhile, Bond's playing politics in Red Hessel, right? But yeah. So yeah. It's a couple months in. You guys make it to Bosford. Hazel. You make it, yourself and Tamara make it up to the steps of the saloon, the tavern that your folks owned. Now just in the property of Mundella, your mother. This I said saloon because that's really what it kind of looks like when you imagine more like an old Western saloon with like the big lodge, a bar in the back, several tables kind of spread out throughout the open entryway, a few side doors, but it's got like swinging doors that kind of close in and out, right? So when you enter, you just kind of move through. And it's a place where laughter and joy and it's like the heart of Bosford. This is also where they hold like their town meetings and everything. It's like this big wooden lodge, right? 2 stories, right? And the centerpiece, way at the back of the bar, is this giant serpent's head skull. Right? Something your father used to say that his grandfather was the one who actually killed a large wyvern, and they mounted the skull here in the tavern. But as you guys arrive at the tavern, it's very different than you remember, Hazel. Because even though it looks the same on the outside, the second those doors swing open, right? You look in. There are bed cots all over, kind of lining the 2 sides of the room. Tables and chairs are there, but they're all pushed over to the side so that people can kind of lay out cots. You hear moans, groans. You see people kind of hustling to and fro, attending to those that are injured. Bosford, as you all have arrived, you realize this becomes something of a refugee town. It wasn't a very big town to begin with, but its numbers have definitely, well, actually kind of petered off because they also suffered their own losses. But the town is very busy, and it certainly seems like more people at the moment. And you learn this is because there are a lot of refugees coming up from the holy city of the Orve. The Orve fared particularly badly, but that's a different story. Hazel, you see your mother, Mundella. She sees you. The 2 of you lock eyes immediately as your little company steps in to the tavern. An elven woman with dark skin, her hair in braids. They're kind of a mess right now. A lot of them are just kind of spilling out, not kind of tightly packed in. But she's got very soft, friendly eyes, hazel brown, like a true rich hazel to him. And you can see that she's been stressed. You can see that she's maybe lost weight. It's been months since the invasion began. And she looks haggard and tired. But the second, as she's dealing with something, she's holding up a bundle of sheets as there's a person on their knees below her. They're trying to pack some blankets around somebody. And she just looks tired as she's watching this. And as she sees the 2 of you walk in, her jaw drops, and so do the blankets, the linens in her hand. And she starts kind of stumbling forward. My girls. Tamara? Hazel? My babies? You're alive, and you're home. And she starts making her way towards you, hand outstretched. Hazel. And you can just see relief tears just welling in her eyes.
I think Hazel is unexpectedly soft in this reunion. She has gone 6 years without speaking to her mother, even since her father died. And there's definitely still some unresolved anger and frustration at their past that has never been resolved. But seeing her mother's thin frame, frazzled, look, seeing how much she's been doing to take care of the home, I think she just almost instantly softens and wells up with tears and runs forward and hugs her mother deeply.
Yeah. The hug is reciprocated. And Tamara kind of joins in, and the 2 of you kind of squeeze in against her. And as you hold her, I mean, Hazel, you're brought back to all the times that you've held her, but you're shocked at how thin she feels. You know how much smaller she feels since the last time you held her, and the three of you are just kind of pressed into each other as tightly as you can. You can feel hot tears against your cheeks, right? Hers, Tamara's, yours. Who knows? Maybe, I don't know if you're crying or not, but these Tamara and Mundella are definitely crying.
Oh yeah, Hazel's bawling like a baby.
Yeah.
And I think she's just whispering into her mom's ears, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Kind of grabs the hand, moves from around your shoulder, kind of holds the back of your head. She kind of turns and presses her forehead into yours, and her eyes just tightly shut. She goes, "Baby, I'm so sorry too. I'm so sorry, darling. I'm just so glad you're home. I'm so glad you're okay."
And just hug some more.
And she squeezes into you and says, "We got a lot of time to make up for. At least we can." And she just kind of holds you tight. The three of you kind of create this cluster in the central part of the room. A lot of the folk in there just kind of look over. You can see all manner. Fenrir, you especially, you can, because you're kind of on the outside looking in on this beautiful moment. You can see the people in the saloon are all. There's a mixture, right? People are happy, like, oh, good, you found your family, right? We're always happy to see that. Some people are jealous, right? They can't help it. Some people are confused. They just don't know what's going on, but they can kind of piece together by context clues. And sitting on your shoulder, Fenrir, you hear from just right next to you a gruff voice, just a loud sniffle. "I love reunions," says Potato, who's sitting on your shoulder. Just not quite on your shoulder, but like on the crook of your sword handle and the bottom of the hilt.
When did you get there?
"I've been here the whole time, buddy." Oh, it's good. That's good. All right. Anything else you'd like to add to the scene here, Hannah?
I think just, some introductions. Mundella's not met Sweet Potato yet.
No, Mundella's not met Sweet Potato.
So I think they just have a lot of catching up to do.
Sure.
And it's just going to take some time.
Yeah, and you guys are there for a few days, I'd say, so you find time, right? I mean, you're busy, right? You're very busy. You're doing a
we're
lot.
helping. I think she just immediately jumps in and helps her mom with whatever she's working on, because obviously she's trying to help the town.
Sure. Yeah, the two of you do that, and you kind of you very quickly become an essential part of everything that's happening in that operation. Fenrir and Tamara, meanwhile, you guys are patrolling the nearby area, getting rid of any sort of Brahm that may be lurking out in the woods, clearing out, highwaymen, bandits who'd be looking to ambush travelers, or just gonna ambush people just as they leave a settlement, kind of thing. So you guys are busy. You guys are both fairly busy, and it's in that kind of state of busyness. Just one day, Hazel, Tamara, kind of hanging back, sitting at the counter, right? Your mother just serving up some stew to both you and her, right? It's the end of the long day, evening kind of rolling in over the town. There's a commotion up at the front of the tavern. You see sauntering into the tavern Commander Bond. You see the halberd hoisted high over the back, so it also kind of drags against the roof a little bit. He has to kind of bow to kind of like get it in through the door. And you see a lot of Patriot blades following him, right? A good number of them. Easily, you as you're watching 10, 20, 30, right? He's got like a company with him as he's walks into the tavern, walks over to your group, and he says, Tamara, Second Blade Tamara, it's good to see you. How fares the town of Bosford? Commander Bond, had not expected you to arrive. Bosford's doing well, sir. Good. I'm sorry for the abruptness of my arrival. Things in Red Hessel have taken quite a turn. Where's Fenrir? Your companion. The two of you are in charge here, aren't you? Well, we are representatives of the Patriot Blades, but I mean, no one holds true leadership in town. Commander, this here's my mother, Mundella. She's the keeper of this tavern that now serves as, well, our base of operations. Bond looks over and exchanges some initial just greetings, polite, but very curt. Clearly kind of writes off Mundella as the person in charge here and kind of just goes back to addressing Tamara. And basically their conversation kind of comes to a point where Bond is demanding that Fenrir be present here. He has things to discuss with the other members of the Patriot Blades. So Tamara turns to you, Hazel, and asks that you go and retrieve Fenrir. He shouldn't be far, maybe just at a lookout tower, near the outskirts, near the southern outskirts, is what you're told.
Okay. I'll go do that.
Okay. You leave Commander Bond, Patriot Blades, refugees, your sister and mother at the tavern. I keep skirting around the name, hoping that my brain is going to remember the name of this damn tavern at some point, but it's not. What is the name of this tavern again? What's the name of your parents' tavern?
Oh, that's right. Wasn't it like something Hearth?
Yeah, it's on my Roll20 actually.
The Moon Hearth. Nailed it.
The Thalite Hearth.
The Phalite
Ooh.
Hearth.
Thalite Hearth. You were not close. Okay.
A little bit.
Not Tamara. Hazel, the other sister. Hazel, it's not hard. You find Fenrir. Everybody knows Fenrir in town. And people, they rumor or word of Bond's arrival is start to kind of spread amongst the general populace. So a lot of people are actually making their way over to the tavern as you are making your way out towards the outskirts looking for Fenrir. And you do find the lookout post. Fenrir, you're up top, keeping an eye. All right, it's quiet up here. All right, it's now solid into the night. I think your stomach is gurgling. Right?
Oh, I need some food.
And right about that time, Hazel kind of wraps on the bottom of the tower on the wooden leg and looks up. Fanny!
Fanny.
What are you doing here? Usually Tamara comes and takes my shift.
Your precious Captain whatever Bon is here. He's in the tavern, wants to see you.
Bon is here?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that can't be good. I'll head on down. Do you know, did he say why?
I don't know anything. He just came in, started talking to Tamara. Got a lot of people with him.
Red Hessel. That makes even less sense. Okay.
Should we be
I think we should head
concerned?
back.
Okay.
Don doesn't usually enter. He's the mission was set for tomorrow, and he doesn't really go hands-on when he sends us out.
Oh.
If he's here, it might be something serious.
Okay, well, let's hurry then.
Two of you start making your way back towards the tavern. Right. This outpost was
David,
somewhat.
could you lean into your mic a little bit more?
Oh, sorry. You guys start making your way back towards the tavern. This outpost was somewhat outside of town. And just as you're making your way along the trail, you can just catch a glimpse of Red Hessel through the trees. And what you see grips at your heart. Your stomach drops. Your breath catches. The tavern, billowing black smoke, just kind of spills off of the thatch roof into the air.
Oh,
And
you said Red Hustle before. You meant Bosford? We could see
Bosford, sorry, yeah, Bosford. You
Yeah.
can see Bosford. Yeah.
Oh,
As the
no.
tavern is just engulfed, the roof engulfed in flames, and you can now, as you're getting closer, and you can see it, the wind just kind of just subtly changes directions, and you can even start to hear the screams on the wind.
Oh, I think we're running.
Okay. You start running.
Yeah, full on sprint.
Full on sprint over. You're running. You start to pull up towards the tavern. Somewhere along the point of your running, as you get closer and closer and closer, the screaming starts to quiet. Right? And by the time you guys get there, you can see that you don't see anybody. It's just the burning tavern. And as you get towards the doors, it kind of swing in and out. And again, the roof of this place is just engulfed in flame, but the building is a huge lodge, right? And it's still kind of standing fairly well. The two of you rush up. You don't see people outside running around trying to put the fire out. As you look around, any bodies that you do find, and they're few and far between, are unmoving.
Do any of them look like Tamara or
No.
Mandela?
No.
Okay. But can we go in?
You can go
like,
into
is
the
there
tavern. The doors are still there, right? It's just
Okay.
it's just a burning building. So I don't want to assume your characters run into a burning building, but if they do, let me know.
I think it's like
Hazel,
the only option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to take a peek.
Okay. You burst into the building. You burst into the scene, and what you see.
And she's yelling she's yelling Mother and Tamara. Those
Tamara.
two names over and over again.
Okay. As you enter in, what you see is terrifying. It is a massacre. Bodies littered over the tables and the furniture, blood kind of pooling all around the tavern boards. You see expressions just gripped in fear. You see the wyvern helm at the back is now kind of like topsy-turvied on the floor, and just flames are erupting from all along the ceilings and coming down the beams. And you see Tamara on all fours, bleeding. Her silver hair, streaks of red through it, as she's kind of trying to get to her feet in the sticky blood. She is one of only two people standing in this room. The other person is Daedric Bond, who stands there, standing almost like stock still. And the halberd just kind of held aloft, just almost like perfectly vertically behind him. And you can see that both heads are kind of dripping. He looks over his shoulder at the two of you, and he goes, Well, late again, Fenrir.
Bon, what did you do? What is happening here?
Hazel has run to Tamara and tries to help her.
Yeah. As you start running towards Tamara, as you start to close the distance, Bon quickly just sweeps the halberd out and points it directly at you. So if you were to continue running, you basically like run into it. So he's got a 15-foot reach and he's extending it out, so like keeping you from Tamara by like, I don't want to get too into the math, but he's holding you at bay with the halberd. He goes, back up.
You motherfucker.
I would pull out my sword. The moment like I see the
blade swing
halberd
around
going towards Hazel.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm pulling out my sword and saying, like, no, your career is with me right now. What did you? And he's like gonna go into like a rage. He's yelling, "What did you do?"
Bon smiles. It's a cruel, wicked smirk as he looks at you and he says, "Oh, Fenrir, that temper's gonna get the best of you one day. And that day is gonna be today. As for you," he looks to you, Hazel. He says, "You were lucky this night. You were the extra. Why don't you run along? This is no place for you, companion."
I'm not going anywhere without my sister and my mother.
And he goes, "You want your mother?" And he nods his head back, and you can see kind of hanging on the wyvern skull, as it's kind of twisted over, hanging kind of in its jaws, impaled on one of its fangs. You see the unmoving form of Mundella. He's
Hazel
right there.
drops to her knees and just lets out a guttural scream of grief.
You're screaming. And as Hazel screams and Tamara reaches out to you, Hazel. This is a sudden strike. Bon swings the halberd down, Hazel, and cuts through you. Shoulder to hip. Just... I rolled a 19 on the dice with Bon's modifier. What's your HP?
Oh, that's gonna crit.
It's gonna crit. What's your HP?
I only have 20.
Okay.
And she's for sure like not defending herself right now. Like she's
you're
in a
just
stupor.
yeah.
Fuck.
Pretty decent roll. That is going to be enough damage to go through your hit points and the negative for an outright. So much like Dex, Hazel walks up next to the boss. And you watch Fenrir as Bon, it's a flash of a moment. Hazel drops to her knees, begins screaming, and like a few, maybe like 3 to 5 seconds into that scream, there's just a swing, and Hazel is just now gurgling. Blood's kind of sputtering out of her mouth as her body falls to the floor. And Bon kind of swishes the halberd around and flicks the blade and just leaves an arc of Hazel's blood. I think the arc kind of flies through the air, and Fenrir just kind of hits you and cuts you across the chest and face. Just Hazel, what are your last words?
I think in this kneeling position, she's still gazing up at the wall where her mom's body has been mounted and desecrated. And all she can manage to think is, I'm so sorry. In her head, she can't even talk because she's gurgling blood. She's just thinking, she's dying with a feeling of shame that she hasn't done enough for her family. It's an awful feeling.
As that hits you, you can't even feel it, but just the last little dull images that you can see in silhouette is Tamara, who's kind of like crawled over to you, and she kind of like crawls through the pool of blood and just kind of grabs your kimono and tries to pull you close. And you just kind of see her form just shifting your body. You don't feel it. You can't even hear the words she's saying. It sounds like what Nigel had earlier when we were doing mic checks, and it was on the wrong mic. It was just kind of like fishbowl-y.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As your vision darkens, Hazel, and you die. Fenrir. Tamara, crying over the body of her sister, kind of pulls her in close. She's screaming very similarly to Hazel, as she's just over and over asking why, until her voice is hoarse. Now, this is all kind of transpiring very quickly. What is Fenrir's initial reactions as Hazel is chopped, but almost in two by Bon?
It's pretty much like a run up jump, and I'm striking as hard as possible downwards as this person who Fenrir was so loyal to for all these years took away his once and only sense of belonging with the group he's been a part of, and almost taken it away his first love as well.
All right, roll an attack roll.
Can't have a high AC this season. Yeah. 19.
Ooh.
19 is gonna miss, my friend.
Ah.
19 is gonna miss as you strike at Bon, and as you're running over, he smirks to himself, and he goes, "Don't you see, your anger leaves you wide open." As you strike down with the blade, he just casually turns to the side, and the blade just... I mean, by a hair's breadth, he just steps over, and he's going to use his reaction with your critical miss to take an attack against you.
Critical miss?
Yeah. Critical miss.
Oh, Bon, big boy.
Oh yeah, Bon's a big boy. Let's see. Fenrir, that is going to be a 27 to hit you.
It hits, but luckily not a crit. One more would have been a crit.
Oh.
Oof.
Yeah, I rolled real bad. Bon is going to, as you miss, he's not even going to use the halberd. He's going to grab the hilt of your sword, and this blade that you wield around clumsily, he's going to kind of pick it upwards and just jam the hilt right into your stomach, causing you to kind of double over. And with his hand, he's going to grab your head, and he's going to kind of hold you by the hair and pull you close. And he says, "Oh, come now. I thought you were a true warrior. I expect better from you, Fenrir."
I roll like shit, but I take one hand off the sword to use my gauntlet to try and, punch him across the face, but did not roll well. Roll the 10.
He's going to easily kind of like just kind of backstep, right? You swing blindly through the air, and with the hand, he drops his weapon now. He's going to kind of quickly grab your wrist and pull you in, and just kind of with the hand, and just kind of as he's pulling you in, just back fist you with the other hand. And there's just kind of this sickening crack in your jaw. All right, Fenrir, that's going to be 22 damage.
Ooh.
Okay.
He's gonna, as you're reeling from the blow, he's gonna pull you in one more time, and he's gonna say, "You're no match for me now. I've ascended. But you could too. If you think you are strong enough to fight me, what would you do for the chance to defeat me?" And he's going to shove you onto the ground, into the blood, into Hazel's blood, and Tamara's blood, and your own blood. He just shoves you onto the ground, just... He stands over you.
I'm on the ground. I'm seeing what's happening. I'm gonna try and like turn over and just with my last dagger I have on me, just like try chuck it, throw it straight at his face.
Okay, go ahead.
The last ditch effort.
Let me just do this. What's your attack modifier?
I would need a natural 20.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I would assume it's a plus 8.
Okay, so the way a natural 20 works is it turns a normal success into a critical success. Even with a natural 20, you're not going to get a normal success. So
I realize as you're explaining that.
Yeah, you cannot hit Bon. But you make your attack.
Shit.
You make your dagger attack. And as you turn and throw the dagger, I think he just reads the play coming. He just reads it coming, and he's just going to strike at your wrist before you release the dagger, and you can feel the bones in your wrist snap and just break. The dagger doesn't actually take off. It just falls, clatters to the floor next to you. And Bond reaches down, holds you by the throat, and pulls you up, hoisting you into the air single-handedly, holding all of Fenrir up over him. Drags you to your feet, and then pass, so your toes are just dangling, right? And he kind of pulls you across and says, and just yells at you, "What would you do for power, Fenrir?"
Or he's like, I don't know.
And let's find out. He's going to squeeze, he's going to grip hard, and begins to crush your throat. He's going to throw you to the ground so hard, Fenrir. You can feel your body you can feel your shoulders, you can feel everything in you just kind of crack. It leaves a crack in the floor, right? And you look up, and overhead is just burning flames. The fire is coming down. Now sections of the roof have begun to crash in, right, as the building is crumbling around you. Bon leans down, picks up the halberd. Your body, Fenrir, you're in no state to fight this guy. He's definitely out of your league. He grabs his halberd up, reaches over to Tamara and grabs her by the scruff of her neck and pulls her away from Hazel's body. Tamara reaches around and tries to fight back, and Bon just turns and punches her in the gut. Knocks her out. He hoists her onto his shoulder. He looks back at you. And he says, Fenrir, when you get strong enough to fight me, you know where I'll be. Let's see if this motivates you. Or let's see if this helps you find your answer.
And Fenrir's gonna he's fighting his best just to try and move, but like just nothing's happening as he tries.
I'd say, I mean, Fenrir is a pretty
He's like
strong guy. I'd say you start kind of dragging yourself
just moving
over
really slowly.
Yeah, you're moving real slowly. I mean, you just about are able to kind of drag yourself across this blood-slicked floor and this smoke through this smoke-filled room right up to like where Hazel's body is. Bon, meanwhile, has made it through the door, and of fucking course, that's when that door frame just gives way under the heat. It cracks open and breaks and just crashes down behind him. The lodge, Mundella's tavern, the Fey Light Hearth, smolders around you. How many bodies in here? As you look around, you're not really sure. The smoke kind of closing in. Hazel's body right next to you. I think Hazel's face just staring at you as the smoke starts to kind of fill in around you. And Fenrir, you're not sure you're going to make it out of this. But just then, no, go ahead. What do you think? What is Fenrir?
No, sees the entrance, the burnt wood come down, entrance is blocked. He's just struggling he just wants to try and get he's looking for another exit, and he's trying to see how can he get Hazel out of here, because maybe she's still treatable.
Sure.
I'll say one thing.
Mm.
I just want to add in when you look at Hazel lying lifeless on the ground. Sweet Potato is right by her head. He's got one little hand touching her between the eyes, and you can't hear what he's saying, but he looks to be praying to some entity.
Mm-hmm. Fenrir, you kind of close in around Hazel, about to scoop her up, looking for some way. You see Sweet Potato chanting furiously just under his little field mouse breath as he's touching Hazel's forehead. You can see there's just like a pinprick of light between his hand and Hazel's forehead. And just as you start to think like, okay, fuck this, I gotta pick them up and we gotta go, the floor begins to quake around you. It begins to shake violently. The roof begins to and any path to escape quickly disappears as now a towering beam of just wreathed in flame begins kind of crashing down towards you. Just as it's about to hit, though, it seems that there's a chandelier that it is attached to that kind of just catches a good chunk of it, and embers and everything just kind of shower down onto you and Hazel and Sweet Potato. as you are now basically in a cage of fire between broken beams, between fallen chandeliers, and the earth is just shaking and quaking around you. And then, Fenrir, you were able to just kind of, I think as things were falling down around you, there's that instinct to survive in you that kind of just pushed you to stand and get to your feet to kind of hold up over. And from that position, as you look out, just through little breaks in the smoke, you see something crazy. You see a wall of water just barreling towards you. Just as the fire, just as the heat begins to become unbearable, your skin, you can feel it just kind of roasting. Your hair also just kind of, the smell of burnt flesh and hair just kind of now filling the space, and the ground just shaking around you, Fenrir. You're certain there's no way. This is it. This is the end. Right? This has to be. Because as the wave hits, Fenrir, you suddenly, the world, I mean, by this point, the flames have kind of worked on you. If we were tracking HP, you're being exposed to like such major heat, you're just kind of like losing HP steadily. And Fenrir, you do go down just as the wave is just kind of like barreling towards you. But
We love a butt.
we love a but. The flames close in. The wave sweeps away. The last wave sweeps away the town of Bosford and any remnants of the Fey Light Hearth Tavern. Amongst the debris, though, would not be found the bodies of Hazel Eyes, Isis, and Fenrir. Hazel, you were slain. And as you died, your body consumed by the flames of the homes of the people who loved you, consumed by the flames of your family. You find yourself kind of floating through just this heat. There's no sort of like space or reality around you, but there's just this sense of heat. Wherever your soul is just hot and swirling around you. But it's not an uncomfortable heat. No, it's really one that's very, very fulfilling. It kind of, it goes from the center of your core out to your fingers. And though your body is consumed in flames, there's something poetic about the fact that it's the tavern of your parents that turns this into more of a moment where these flames don't hurt you, but they seek to heal you, they seek to protect you. And Hazel, as you are in this space, you see glimpses of things that you are, it's difficult to piece together initially. Just images. You see an orcish heritaged individual, an individual with orcish ancestry, but with this sort of like fiendish features. You can make out you've experienced Nephilims, right? Looks like someone who's, a Nephilim individual, but maybe of orcish heritage, dressed in golden armor. You also see glimpses of a very dapper, debonair, half-elven man. You see an individual, a Shisk, spikes coming out of the face, kind of a wicked grin and a dark shadow looming behind him. And you see a small little fun guy, Leshy, at the side of this individual, who turns to you, and you see that the eyes are kind of this black, milky space with little pinpricks of light, kind of mimicking like a night sky. And your vision falls through those eyes. You see the Red Hessel skyline. You see as lightning strikes down. And you see past the clouds as you kind of glean upwards. You see 3 figures standing over. Give me a perception check here. Let's see if you can make out these 3 figures.
18.
18 is pretty good. 18 is really good, actually. So you do see, I would say, the figures you recognize. One seems to be a half-orc. Young, dark-haired with red eyes. You also see Daedric Bond, the man who killed your mother. You also see a rather thin, lanky, gaunt individual with a walking cane and kind of jewels on the face, with this kind of crazy purple and rust-colored hair that kind of is in this strange, like, towering hairstyle that flops over to the side. You recognize someone who's clearly kind of indulging the fashions of upper Red Hessel, of the steppes. You see the storm circling Red Hessel, and you see these 3 wreathed within the clouds of the storm. And then you see the mountain on the side of Red Hessel, and you can see within it. And as your vision delves into it, you start to feel a presence, like something bigger than you. You start to feel, it's almost like that feeling that you would get if you were like standing in front of the ocean for the first time and you just realized how small you were, right? But it's something that makes you feel that way, not by nature of some sort of urge to intentionally make you feel small. This is that feeling of inferiority that is just casual to the entity in reference, right? You cannot help but feel small next to this. And Hazel, you awaken first. You awaken first as you feel your chest. You see that first breath kind of hits, just your eyes kind of roll back. And as you right yourself, your kimono is kind of haphazardly slung onto you. As you look around, you can't be sure that you're in Bosford. You seem to be out in the forest somewhere, but the forest is completely topsy-turvy. The trees are uprooted. The land is swept aside as though by a flood. As you look around, you do see another individual kind of like leaning up against a tree, also passed out, is Fenrir. And though he's got some pretty bad burns and some nasty bruises, he is breathing still, raggedly.
After looking around for a moment and seeing there's no one else out here, I'll run over to Fenrir and try to rouse him.
You're able to do so. You're able to wake him up. Fenrir, you're aroused to awakening. You're down to 1 HP. Hazel, you're also at 1 HP.
Okay. Is Sweet Potato with me?
Yeah, Sweet Potato's with you.
Okay.
Okay, and you woke up first. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. What? What happened? Where are we?
A large wave. A large wave attacked us. Well, destroyed the village. I don't know how we're.
Do I have
Man.
like a scar?
Yeah, you got a major scar.
Yeah.
You.
But it does it look healed? Or
It
is
looks
a fresh
pretty. It looks
wound?
pretty healed up, actually. Like the skin looks. It looks a lot older. Actually, the way it looks. Are either of you trained in medicine?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Fenrir, you can make a medicine check here. As you look at Hazel, who approaches you, and you can see this kind of this scar.
10.
10. I'll tell you, you've seen battlefield medicine before, and this looks like. I'll say this is what it looks like, but you can't tell like the source or whatever happened. It looks like a cauterized wound. It looks like someone cauterized Hazel back together.
How? I saw you die. Or you were. How did you. And he's like, "Ugh, feeling terrible. How did you get healed so quickly?
I don't know.
What's his name? Sweet Potato. Just kind of hops onto your knee, Fenrir, and says, "Well, that's because the wildling steward's looking out for you, Hazel."
Sweet potato.
I'm here, darling. The wildling steward called on the power of the phoenix. And Phoenix healed you, protected us through that wave.
The wildling steward. She's with us.
Well, she's with you. Did you see her?
No, but I feel her. I think she just kind of like feels that warmth, that sensation that she was feeling as the wave hit, and just kind of lets it kind of like radiate out her limbs a little bit. And you see her fingertips just glow with this fiery warmth. And then she remembers who she lost. And reverts back to sorrow for a moment. He took her.
Yeah.
He killed my mother. And he took Tamara.
Vaughn has her.
Where did he go?
He went to Red Hessel.
Are you sure?
That was part of his last message to me. And I can try and stand up. We have to get going.
Can you even walk?
I've been through worse.
I haven't. I think I died. I think I died.
Who's looking out for you? What was that? Wild?
The wildling steward. She is my patron. I never knew much about her. I just know that At a very young age, she gave me a small amount of power. And it's only been a few years since I've been able to really feel that power and hone it. I don't know how to control it perfectly yet, but I'm working on it.
Is she always going to bring you back to life?
I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works.
Well,
I
only
saw
one way to find out.
I saw Red Hessel when the light went out. There's a storm. I saw lightning. I saw some figures. A half-orc with golden armor. Maybe a Nephilim. I'm not sure. It was a bit fuzzy. I saw Bon. And someone else I didn't recognize. And there were some others. I don't know what it means.
Okay. Do you remember them enough? Facial features, details on what they were wearing.
Kind of. I think if I saw them, I would recognize them. I think.
I'll take that. And all three in Red Hessel.
Yes. There's something going on with that mountain. Something big.
With the mountain as well.
I don't know. I don't know, Fenrir.
One problem at a time. We have to get tomorrow.
Yes, we do. And, pardon my frankness, but we need to kill that fuckwad. Are you with me? He needs to go.
Absolutely.
Good.
Like, okay. Do I... Like, I'm assuming like all my weaponry is gone.
You look around and find it. You got to heal up and stuff. As you guys walk around, you find yourselves in the remnants of the town. You look around and you couldn't recognize anything, but as you stand up and walk around, you realize actually you guys hadn't moved. The wave just moved everything around you. So what you thought was the forest that you were in, no, it's the forest rolled this way, but you're able to find like remnants of the tavern. And amongst them, a heavy ass sword didn't get too far. Looks like it got jammed into a tree, and you're able to find it. So yeah, you got your weapons and everything. All right, and you guys make your way up to Red Hessel from Bosford. This trip is going to take you a few weeks, given the disaster that has unfolded, and plus time to heal up. But you guys will be arriving in Red Hessel by the beginning of our session 1. The state of Red Hessel, though, is something that I just want to leave you guys with. Okay? Let's see. I think this is a good track. As you guys enter the town, as you guys enter the city, Red Hessel looks very, 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 very different. The Red Hessel that you enter is one that has sunken underneath the fury of the last wave. As you make your way past the city walls and you see the city proper, you find yourself kind of looking into what is essentially like a giant crater. A giant landslide from the mountains all the way around. It just seems to have just kind of sunken in on itself, creating almost like a half bowl. But you see within that bowl are kind of tiers that you can navigate. Right, it looks like remnants of society have kind of taken to those tiers. It's been a month since the last wave. Tents have been erected, and you see as you enter and walk through the city, and you start to see people, it seems that they are gathering. It seems that they are all of the same mind, of the same purpose at this time that you find them. Another thing of note is that since the last wave, it's always nighttime, so it's really hard to tell what time of day this would be, as it always looks like it's very late, because it is permanently now nighttime. If you don't have dark vision, I am real sorry for you. You guys find yourselves in Red Hessel as the bells of the Liberty Citadel ring out over the ruined city. This being now for the first time since the Sovereign elect's initial address after the first wave. For the first time since the unimaginable destruction of the last wave that sank the city in a citywide landslide. For the first time since the world stopped turning and permanent night has now fallen. So the question on everyone's minds as they emerge from their little shelters and file into the cleared passages that now pass for streets in their community is the same question. Are these about to be the last words of a dying republic? Many know that while those loyal to Sovereign-elect Caleb DePosto are somewhat involved with the handling of precious resources in the city, and this is something you guys knew back from your time in Red Hessel, you guys know that the true hand behind those is not Caleb, right? But rather a philanthropist named Lelantos. You know that Caleb's dwindling militia garners very little respect compared to those of the Patriot Blade. Those warriors of the Patriot Blade that swear fealty to their commander, Daedric Bond. And you know that despite the obvious exploitation of the Tempest Isle prisoners to bolster his numbers to protect against the Brahm, everybody knows that the prisoner tribes swear fealty to their own ruler, the young chief Kabok Stormborn. So, no resources, no power, no respect. All of these dissolving under Caleb's feet over the last 5 months, and that leaves everybody to wonder about the future of the Republic. And that is where we are going to call our session tonight, as you guys find a crowd of people that are making their way towards the Liberty Citadel to hear Caleb DePosto speak. That is where we will pick up with you guys in session 1 of New World Rebellion.
Oh my god.
We are in position. Man, guys.
Ah,
Woo.
David, you killed me.
Sorry.
You
Brought you back,
killed
though.
me.
Brought you back,
Yeah,
though. Brought
you
you back.
did.
Brought you back. So, evens out. Okay.
I died.
Guys, thank you so much for playing. Guys, if you stuck with us, thank you so much for watching. This was a meaty one. 3 hours and 30 minutes of playtime.
Ooh,
Guys. That was a
we
long
went a little
one.
over.
Went a little over. So before we head out, I do want to thank my players for sticking with me through this long one. This is a meaty zero session. Before we head out, let's start with Hannah. Who are you? Who'd you play? Thank you for being here.
Whew. I am Hannah. I have been playing Hazel Eyes, who died and came back to life. Wow, sorry, I'm still reeling. That was a lot of drama in the end. Holy moly. Yeah, you can find me here on Stealthy Elf Productions playing in several different Pathfinder2e campaigns. Occasionally I pop over onto Tell's Archived. Go check them out. They have great content. And I cannot wait for session 1 at ElfCon, November 2nd. Please tune in. It's going to be so much fun.
Do that. All right.
Yeah, ElfCon it's two weeks from now.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks
Well,
from now.
it's going to be 2 weeks. Yeah.
By the time this airs.
Nigel played Fenrir, and now he's all in revenge mode.
We're
as
in
he tries to get Bond.
Yes. Guys, I've been your
Need
GM.
a natural 25.
Yeah. Good luck. Could you get the sense that this is a later campaign adversary?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Guys, I am the cruel GM, manhandling my level 2 players. My name is David, and I am the cruel GM of all of the Heroes of Histaeria. That includes Sansi Saga, our premier pirate crew campaign, Unearthed Inheritance, our top tier rebuilding Aftermath campaign. And then we've also got now New World Rebellion, our little sandbox violent campaign. That's going to be crazy. So guys, be sure to keep your Twitch here. Check us out. And when you're not checking us out here, though, you can also catch me over at Tales Archived when I play Whistle, the Hobgoblin Fighter in the Known Realms Telesh campaign every Sunday at 4 p.m. Central. Yes. That's over at Tales Archived. We hope to see you at all of those places. And we will see you guys soon for next week. For the last of the Zero sessions.
Yes.
The last of the Zero sessions. It'll be Lycus D. Stratus and Max. Right? The rest of the Sandsea crew. So you know it's going to be chaos. Check it out. We hope to see you there. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. And we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.